True.
We've begun. Alrighty. Do you want to start with the game? You on PTCGO?
Yeah, give me 2 seconds.
True. We've begun. Oh, I need to turn off my own thing. Alrighty. Do you want to start with the game? You on PTCGO?
Yeah, I need to mute this. And need to play some Pokemons.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie Pokemon. Let's go. Oh, nearly started with Houndoom Milt. Let's not annoy him too much to start with. Oh, I cancelled the challenge. My bad. Hello Dark Slowbro, hello Stellar93, and hello Monte Carlo Meerkat. We both, well, I think we both had a good Christmas and New Year's. I certainly did.
Yeah, mine was pretty good.
Joe did as well.
Annoying that we missed last week's stream. That was just down to bad internet more than anything else. But we're back now. And I've got 2 screens. So if you see me looking to my right a lot, that's because I have a second screen now.
Oh, I can't wait to get my new PC. I'm so excited.
You got a fresh trim, so no need for a hat. Yeah. The hat was always just there just because my hair was bad. It was never about the heat. It is still freaking freezing though.
I'm trying to get into VGC.
Well, you've come to the wrong place.
I wasn't going to say it, but this is not the stream for you.
I'm feeling quite laggy. I need to...
Like Skype-wise, or...?
Just everything.
TCG. Oh, God. Okay. 15-minute stream, guys. Jack, why you not say hello to me? Because you didn't say hello in the chat. If you say hello in the chat, you'll get a little hello from me, but I don't have time to say hello. Well, I probably don't have time to say hello to everyone in here, but...
He did say. He said it in the chat.
Did he? Oh, I genuinely, like, the first message is Dark Slowbro saying hello.
Oh, savage.
Hello, Jack. There you go. There's a hello from me. Sessi Neela, hello. Neb741's hosting as well. Thank you very much, Neb.
Thanks, Neb.
Always appreciative.
Evening, Scott. How's it going?
Hello, Scott.
I've caught the Simmons flu off you both. It's the first day back in work today. So thanks for that. It was all worth it. Had a great time. Took some money off you. Playing poker. Well, I say money. It was like a Lucario, so... Does anyone need Raikus, is the real question. Because I won 2.
What?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I can't bop you, because I don't have a way to get Mega Turbo working.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jack. I did, like, the first message I genuinely have is Dark Slowbro's hey, so... I apologise. Heavy Tortoise, evening to you too. How you doing? Again, apologies for last week, anyone that didn't catch us at the start. Unfortunately, we were having some internet troubles, so we weren't able to stream, but we are back to normal. Oh, as if.
Top Deck Frogadier.
Yep.
Cool.
Fine.
Is it even worth retreating here? I think I can just keep up on attachments and win this game. Yeah, that's true. I was pretty salty. At least it means that I'm not playing... Oh my goodness, Jack. That's a thing.
Greninja things.
At least I know I'm not playing Volk for Leipzig.
You're going into a tourney this weekend and you have no idea what to play. Don't play Greninja, because it draws like this sometimes.
Salt.
Okay. No, I think there's still a lot of options out there. I feel the format hasn't really impeded anything.
We're here trying to figure out the same thing, Dark Slow, bro. I'm
Yeah.
going to Leipzig this weekend, so let's work on it together. Today's testing. Hopefully should get us there. At the moment I'm thinking Guardi's one of the safest picks to play, which is why I'm starting with it. And I'm trying out the mixed mega build because we're expecting Greninja to be playing Silent Labs now to deal with Tina promo, so that makes the Despair Ray build a lot less good. So we want to secure our knockouts in other ways.
Yeah. Arcanite 914, hello, how you doing? Good to see you in here again. 22 people in here already, really good. I wonder where Luke's at. Luke is meant to be joining us at some point, but he hasn't made contact yet. Well, he spoke to me earlier on, but he hasn't said he's free yet or anything. Yeah, fairy drops are good for this matchup as well.
Yep. Well, I mean, if you get a break, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but that requires getting a break, Joe. These things aren't happening, are they?
You think there'll be a bunch of pancakes places, or?
You've been playing Greninja Silent Lab.
It does
It
make
works pretty
Megas
well.
harder. I mean, I was playing Rough Seas for a while anyway, because of Yveltal, so it's not felt too different to me in testing. But I guess if you're not playing Fadeds, it does feel more difficult. Did you actually whiff? Wow. He actually whiffed.
Mm-hmm.
Top Deck Stadium. Let's go. Oh.
Glad the stream's here to keep me from going insane counting bulk. Oh,
Good.
I dread to even think how difficult it would be to count bulk. It's just probably not difficult, just tiresome. Rather you than me, Arcanite. You think you're gonna play Ray? Has Ray been? I don't think Ray was very popular at Dallas, was it? Was there any top 32s?
No, but Guardi was everywhere.
Yeah,
so
true.
Ray can pick up that easy matchup.
You like Guardi, but better.
How dare you?
You like Despair Ray Guardi, but better.
Scott's saying, based on the amount of the amount being played, I think Gyarados is still a good choice. Might people start to tech against it though? Absol, Mega Guardi, Spinder and some decks. Yeah, I don't think it's at the point yet where people will counter it. I think you can still find a sweet spot with Gyarados. After trying to play it this weekend, I know that I can't play the deck well enough to pick it myself. So I don't know. I won't be playing it, but I don't think it's a bad call by any means.
Let's do what we were meant to do earlier on. Skylar. I'm at 700 in bulk.
700. That's a lot. Also considering Warlord. Yeah, Warlord, I think, with the Giratina promo, I think Warlord can beat a lot of decks now. I might have to build it. Sorry everyone in advance, but I might have to build it. I don't own any Warlords in real life, though. And I kind of like playing Pokemon as well.
I like this game for the knockouts and the prizes and things, not the...
Wailor Lord, exactly.
Wow.
Because Wailord like always wins a stadium war, you can make the Tina promo super annoying for Greninja players. Have you tried your Geomancy Guardian list with Mega Mewtwo before? I was playing that with surprising results. Well, I know that a Fairy Guardi almost made top 8 in Dallas. I don't know if it played Xerneas, but it definitely played Fairy Drops. So there's some reasoning behind that. I can see it being a transferable reason to play both. Playing Houndoom to counter all the Warlords? Oh, dearie me. What has the world come to? Speed Darkrai is an option, but Pancakes. Yeah, but Pancakes. I don't know how popular Pancakes really will be. The deck's, like, okay, but it's not great. And I imagine there'll be a small decline in Dark decks regardless, just because the amount of Guardi there was. So Pancakes having the free matchup declines a little bit. Which kind of makes me worried if I'm a Pancake player. And Pancakes is bad against Volk and Greninja, so like... You're probably not going to make day 2 by playing Pancakes a lot of the time. Only Kevin Baxter did it. So. And there was a lot of good players playing it. It wasn't just 5 scrubs picked it up and one guy made it. It was 5 good players all played a subpar list, let's be fair. And one guy made it for the memes. So, that's what I think about Pancakes, at least. I'm not saying it can't do well, but I'm saying it's even less well placed than it used to be. What is Pancakes? Yeah, Snorlax GX with... It's basically a Xerneas Break deck. Where you play a 4-4 split, and then you play the Regirock to make sure that you can't get Lysandered up to lose all your energy, and then you Ninja Boy into Snorlax GX, and use his GX attack to KO stuff. But it's really not that strong. Is it over? Did you have to bubble me there? Oh, Lysander's a card.
It's one of those where I needed to Lysander and then you that turn.
Why is Warlord the Bediff? It's not a bad deck. It's not the best deck, clearly, but it gains a lot from the Tina promo, so it is a decent option. For a small league cup, what do you think is the play? Not enough of a field to dodge bad matchups. If you can't dodge bad matchups,
consistency.
Consistency. Yveltal Garb seems to be a really good deck.
I've heard. Nice. GG.
GG.
I feel if you didn't have the Sycamore there, I could have potentially slowly clawed my way back if you couldn't find a way of retreating. But I guess you always had Fairy Gardens left, so...
Yeah, I was sat on Sycamore for like 3 turns anyway. I was just like playing out my hand.
Yeah, I kind of assumed I needed to N and Lysander to still be in the game.
Yeah. I'd probably just say Yveltal. Yveltal doesn't have anything worse than like a 40% matchup unless you're hitting the one guy playing Pidgeot Jolteon still. You think that's the one deck people counter? I don't know. Don't know about that because Guardy is the latest phase right now. So maybe that's not a good thing for Yveltal, but it means that people aren't just playing Quad Zeb Striker anymore a lot of the time.
I think you've kind of got the format's kind of in the place where it was before, probably.
It feels like going back into Liverpool for me.
Yeah, I was going to say slightly after Liverpool.
Okay, yeah.
Like I feel like we're in the period just after Liverpool.
When Guardy did well.
When Guardy did well, and people then started, after a little while, hyping Yveltal.
Yeah.
But for now, I think, like, I don't know, it's really fluctuating at the moment. But I think, it's usually between Yveltal or the rest of the format. No, like Guardy. And I think it's.
I think
Guardy
Ninja has to be considered as like top 4 as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I mean, like, that's been pretty good in both scenarios. Whereas, God, Jesus, my hand. Whereas, like, if Yveltal's good, then Guardy isn't really being played. It's not being played. Oh my goodness me.
What's prized?
Oh dear.
How many? You're thinking Houndoom? Oh man, I really dislike Houndoom. If you're gonna play Houndoom, play Warlord, I think.
Houndoom's so much fun though.
Because Warlord can actually take on Greninja. And Houndoom also loses to Volk. So Jack is a beetle. I agree. He's playing Brock's Grit.
I'm playing the winning list. I'm not playing Brock's Grit.
Oh,
I'm playing
what a
winning
scrub.
list.
Hands up who like the winning list. Exactly. All hands are down.
I can tell you now, all hands are down. Oh, dearie me.
The Warlord list is super cool as well, because it actually aims to take prizes. just by Sky Return bouncing. It's quite fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I haven't properly looked at it, but I took a quick look, and I think the list is really, really cool.
It's got a hoot hoot.
Yeah.
So it must be cool.
I mean, what list isn't cool that plays Quaking Punch without the damage on a 50 HP basic?
But it's even better without the damage because it could be like infinite.
Yeah.
Infinite lock of one
Fine,
Pokemon.
I'll just take the 6th prize and win. No, we're going until you have no cards left.
Oh,
Until you
bloody hell.
can't draw a card.
I hate when this deck prizes Tina EX. Not Tina EX. Hoover EX.
What about when this one prizes Guardies?
Makes life a little bit better for me.
Oh, I've got a headache. I need to go and grab a drink after this game. I forgot to get one pre-stream. I don't know why, but why I'm so hyped for such a small tourney, but I am. All tourneys are really good, but like, I don't know, the small ones feel. I think there's just a difference between really, really big tournaments and really, really small tournaments. They both have their sort of pros and cons. Anyone in the chat going to Cov LC on Sunday?
Cov LC. Is that where you're headed, Scott? I don't think Luke's even going. I think he wants to go to unless Cov's the expanded one, I think Luke wants to go to an expanded tournament this weekend. I don't know if it's a League Cup or what, but that's where he's headed. Rat and Holucha aren't great. You know a Hex, Jack?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I'm megaing for turn anyway.
Yeah, cool. Yes, I will have 2 prizes for free. No, I won't. Just kidding. Damn it, game. I guess I'll put another one down just in case. Okay.
I have no idea how I win this game. I guess we just get cards and see if they can do things. My local store is having a winner box the day after Sun and Moon comes out, and they had a cap at 50 and it's already full. I need to get my name down for the Chimera pre-releases actually, because they are going to fill up, and I want to get to 2 or 3 of them. Have you seen the pre-release promos, Joe?
Yeah.
So good.
So good.
And Oranguru and Shinotic. It's just mad. I'm going to get for like 3 Bruxish, I know, but...
Bruxus is such a troll. I thought it was going to be Serena, because we saw that different artwork of it.
Yeah, Serena and Vikavolt.
So weird.
Oh, I bet they'll be the deck promos, actually.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, wait, no, they're not, because they're
actually different artwork. They might be blisters?
Yeah, they'll be blisters, I reckon.
Maybe.
Probably.
Who knows? Because it was also... What was it? Yeah, Vikavolt.
I need to...
Win a box of Sun and Moon. What would I play?
I need to take 2 prizes this turn.
Oh. Okay then. If you say so. Oh, because you need to get some Guardies out of the prices.
Yeah. I need a Guardie.
Oh my. You left me those lovely Shamans. Wow. Float life.
Oh, I was sure this guy had free retreat.
Let's go best supporter in format.
I love Zeb Striker. It's one of my favourite Gen 5. I wasn't keen on Gen 5 on the whole, but Zeb Striker is such a cool Pokemon. Oh dear, now we lose the game.
Blast it. You've been blasted.
Damn and blast. Okay. Now what?
This is a deck I've been considering, guys. It's an anti-meta box deck. Basically the same shell as Tina Hammer's, but I've gone more aggressive. Taken out the Garb, put in a Tina promo, and then also put in Zebras and took out the Hammers. So, yeah, fun times all around. Hopefully, at least. How does the Magina deck beat Volcanion? This isn't a Magina deck. This is a box deck. So against Volk, the win condition is Chaos Will with a Fury Belt whilst locking in Silent Lab, which I play, or by playing Hex Maniac. And I also have to Fairy Drop in the list, so they hit me for 130. I Fairy Drop, and then I hit them again for the KO. Then they have to 3-hit through one Giratina. I also play Salamancy X, which can take like a swift 2-prize knockout, so it's forcing the trade in a bad way for them. Either I lock in Parallel, which sucks for Volk, or I lock in Silent Lab, which is like way better. I'll go over the list in a minute, because this is one that I'm seriously considering. My only concern is that it doesn't beat Greninja often enough, because Greninja lists have been moving more towards E-Hammer and Max Potions. Both of these things are problems.
Okay, so if I do this, you do this. If you do this, you...
What I think about Volcanion with catchers. I was really close to playing it last weekend, but I didn't in the end, just because I don't like how many spaces it takes up. But flipping at the right time is really, really good with that deck, so I can't really knock it. Let's do this.
Okay.
See you later, Dark Slow, bro. Thanks for popping by, mate.
Yeah, see you later, buddy.
Oh, you don't believe me that I can beat Volk? I always found whenever I played Tina Garb, I found myself at least 60% favored. Obviously this isn't Garb, so like the ability lock is technically less, less permanent. It's obviously permanent as long as I keep the Silent Lab in play, but I have to find it. Otherwise it is sort of hex off, stuff like that. But it's just all about timing. If I time it right, it doesn't really matter. So your hand is empty. And you chose to rope. I'm confused.
I think I need to take cards here. Take prizes here. I think that's the only way back into this game.
If you say so.
I mean, I think I lost it when I prized 2 Guardy, but
Yeah, that doesn't help the situation.
Okay, that's not good.
Okay, that's
Ooh.
not good.
Good prize, though.
Good prize.
What do we think about the new Gyarados list with Lucky Helmet? I think we both quite like it. It's quite fun. And I like the recovery method of Lucky Helmet, because there's really nothing that they can do to stop it. You're either knocking them out and they're drawing an extra 4 cards after you've ended them to 2 or whatever, or they're not knocking you out and you've still got a Gyarados up. So I actually really like it as a recovery method, because we've got no way of really dealing with tools at the moment. I think it's really strong.
Yeah, I think it's really strong as well. I don't think 4 count is right. I think that's a little bit too many.
I think 3 is good.
2 or 3, yeah. 2 or 3 makes a lot of sense.
But I haven't tested it. If you want to talk Gyarados, Mr. Simmons is somewhere lurking in the chat, I believe.
Yeah.
So
I was talking to Scott about it in person. He knows that there are like 1 or 2 floating spaces for Gyarados.
Yeah.
And Lucky Helmet does make a lot of sense, because it's more card draw and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess it's either that or like text, like that extra rope or that extra.
Yeah, it's like you
whatever.
lose the space for like things like Mr. Mime, stuff like that. If you want to play without Mime, you just play an extra helmet and just say, you know what, if you're playing sniping, I lose anyway, because you'll find a way to get around the Mime by hexing or whatever. So a lot of people are just cutting Mime from Gyarados, because a lot of the time it's not an impactful enough card.
Yeah. From what I've seen of the deck, it feels like there's like 56 cards that every Gyarados just plays.
Yeah.
And then
there's like the one-off catcher.
Yeah.
The Meow Stick. These sorts of flexi cards that people decide on. And seeing as though Lucky Helmet is just cards, just more card draw, it can't be that bad of an idea.
Yeah. Consistency is always good. And I think from what I've understood, not playing the deck, but having talked to people that do play the deck and seen the deck played, N is so painful for that deck, because you need, like, if they can get rid of all of your setup, you need so much. It's not like you're able to just carry on attacking next turn. You need to find DC, you need to find another Gyarados, you need to get your Stadium back, and you need to get your Magikarp back. So being able to stop people from like ending you to 2, if you're then drawing 2 to 4 more cards, it's just super good.
I agree.
I actually think it was kind of played a little bit when Ancient Origins first came out, or Lucky Helmet, the card.
Yeah, not a huge amount, but
so it's nice seeing it kind of back. It seems like the era of Parallel City is also coming to an end, as its impact on the metagame is waning. I think it's just another of those fluctuation things.
It's still really heavily played, I thought.
I don't know that it's as heavily played, but...
Well, if Mewtwo's coming back, that plays it. Yveltal plays it.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
some Volk players play it. It's still a pretty heavily played card.
How much do I respect the bubble?
Never enough.
Ooh, okay.
Starting Hooper's cool, isn't it?
Those things are cool.
When you only have Ultra Ball.
Aero Ball and no testes. So this always dies, so let's just get some frogs out.
Splash it?
No, unfortunately not.
No splash'ems.
I was thinking about max potioning it, but it dies anyway, so there's no point.
Correct.
Dies anyway, and sometimes you end me, and it goes back in, and it can be used on a break later on. Sometimes you just hit me in the face, though.
Because I can't draw cards.
How'd you get Tina promo online? Uh, I actually don't know how you get Tina promo online. I haven't got any. I need to get some.
Trading 20 packs is how I got mine.
Oh
So
boy. I don't know how they actually get the codes though. I guess there must be a code coming in the blister. There usually is nowadays. That would be my assumption.
you can proactively play through the Parallel City and limits its impact in the early game. I think the main early game impact of Parallel is limiting your own Hooper Shaman off the board for easy prizes. So I still think it's impactful in that sense. It doesn't lose its impact there at all. It's the more sort of secondary effect. Limiting the bench is less impactful, I would say. But I still highly, highly, highly rate that card. Let's go, supporter. Let's go. Fuck.
PG stream.
Let's go, prizes. Let's go.
Okay. Where on earth is Mr. Kirkham?
Have we actually messaged him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, where'd you get the 3-pack blisters? Again,
I don't know.
I'm not sure. If you have a look around online, there may be people trading them, like Joe said, but I think they're going to be relatively difficult to get for a while. As long as they're not, dealt with like Jirachi, the Jirachi promo was, as in you can only get them in certain countries, or you can only get tradable ones in certain countries or whatever. I think that's fine.
Damn it, game. You're not a supporter either.
I was going to say it's a shaman, but there's a lab there. There's a lab right there. People in here, 36 people in here at the moment. Hope you're all doing okay this evening.
Let's see if you have
Answers.
another Greninja. I don't think you do.
Have I got answers? Is that what you're asking me?
Yep. Shoot.
I've got answers for days.
That's a top deck. Otherwise,
it's not.
What? You didn't break last turn? You're crazy. You held that? Why would you hold it?
I was meant to break last turn. I'm not gonna.
Come on. Otherwise, I take Froakie all day. Come on. Game.
Why'd you do this game?
I made the mistake of thinking my opponent was good. The fatal error in Jax. Capitalised on that.
What's Luke Kirkham's #1 rule?
People are bad.
People are bad. Abuse that fact. People are bad at timing, Luke Kirkham.
Let's go again.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a rough matchup for you anyway. But I'm gonna do that.
I had the option to turn on Ultra Ball for 3 cards with Shaman.
Yeah.
But my hand was just 2 DCE, and I wanted an attacker, and I had a Male. If Male gets me out of that...
Yeah, it's a very different game.
And obviously starting Hooper makes that Ultra Ball so bad.
Yeah.
What deck am I playing? It's an anti-meta deck that I will be showing off today.
Sorry, Karen. I think if any of those events don't happen together, you're fine.
Yeah.
Like if you start anything else, or if you have an attacker, or if you have a shaman.
Yeah. Don't worry, Rob. I'll go over it in a sec.
Yeah, we'll do. I'm gonna go and grab a drink after this game.
I can't not explain this deck after playing it a few times because it looks crazy, right?
Joe can chat about it then. I know you play it, but I still haven't seen this Salamence.
Yeah.
It's just hiding.
Again, dead draw.
That's right. Have cards. Have many cards. Oh god, I can't even end you. Uh-oh.
All the cards, please. Those are some pretty bad cards.
Magana.
Insta pass.
That's what we like, boys. Or it's not what we like. Me and Joe have been chatting this week, and I think most conversations me and him have started with has been about PTCGO hands and how
and just a
stupid
dot
they
after
are
it.
sometimes.
I've been testing so much for Leipzig.
And
Like,
it's
more
just
than I've tested for a
always,
lot of tournaments. And
it's just always a different. It's just, yeah, I'm not keen on this deck because PTCGO hands.
I'm running out of decks. But yeah. If Greninja plays Jirachi and no E-Hammer, this list is so good. With the E-Hammer build, I think it's harder. And it depends on how many max potions they pull off. But hopefully we'll see it a bit better in this matchup.
Yeah. Mind you, it's now my turn to not have a game.
Hope so.
I suppose I can draw something here. Play Volcanion. I think, Joe, what was it that put you off Volcanion? It was a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? Or about a week ago?
I played it last weekend. And I still drew bad.
Yeah.
And I played bad matchups. So, that's what put me off. When a deck is meant to be the cornerstone of consistency and you're there draw passing, kind of makes me wonder. What's the trait of this deck if it can't draw well?
How many games did that happen in, would you say? Or
I lost at least... The 2 games I lost, the best of 3s, it was because my game... What am I saying? It's either game 1 or 3 where I dead drew, and I just lose. And even in games where I win, it becomes a 3rd game because of dead draw.
Okay.
What list did I play? I played my own list, of course. I played a list with 3 Rough Seas.
This guy doesn't net deck.
That's what I played. Right, I could really do with a Tina soon.
200 HP. 200 HP. That means I need to Moonlight Slash.
I'll still get this first, I think. Pretty sure. Okay. That's really, really good for me.
Nice.
The only thing I don't have is a stadium.
I genuinely completely forgot about that card. It's not a card to forget about.
If I'm KOing this Greninja, at least I don't have to worry about it this turn.
Yeah, I had such a good turn next turn if you couldn't KO that ninja. Like, stupidly strong.
Good.
Okay, now what am I doing? Oh dear.
Oh wow.
Oh dear. I have pretty sick guard while I sleep, but I really want to play Houndoom. So when everyone sees my deck, thinks I'm playing guard. The mind games have begun already.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather Star You Die.
I don't even know what sleeves I'd have to put this deck in.
Just matte black.
Yeah.
It runs aspects of everything, so there's no way you can.
Come on, Stadium. Now's the time.
Did he get it? Oh, yes, he did.
And it's locked in for game.
Forever.
Now it's just a question of how many max potions can you pull off. One's in the discard. So, hopefully we can outlast him. That's step 2 of this glorious setup. We've already lost a Fairy Drop. Fairy Drop is like my max potion in this matchup. As sad as it sounds.
No, that's not the right card, Jack. Blimey.
Blimey,
That's the correct card.
The big 60.
I was thinking, do I return the energy? But I have to be able to keep up with you, really, don't I?
Kinda. Round 2.
Oh, Christ.
Ah! Get out of here.
Ah. What?
Max potion.
What? Why can't I? What?
Chaos Wheel?
Oh, right, yeah.
Splash
That's
energy.
the card. How many of these cards are useless? I think all but one of them are useless. So I think I just sick them all.
Guys, let's play What's the Useful Card? VS Seeker. Hooray!
We worked it out.
I did it. It was all tools, special energy, and stadiums.
Things I can't use.
I worked it out.
Yay.
We cracked the case.
Speaking of which, have you watched Sherlock yet?
Yeah. This was a really good one this week. I
I
thought
really
last
like
week's was good, but this one was so good.
Yeah, I really like the guy. I think the guy that played the villain
The
is just
actor.
such a good actor.
Yeah. I've only ever seen him in Your Highness, the comedy. So it was so weird seeing him in this role.
He was in Doctor Who ages ago, and I
okay.
remember him from that. And he was like in this. He was just really creepy.
Yeah. Oh, you're not Fairy Drop off the top. Fine, Chaos Wheel.
Fairy drop off the top. So fairy drop off the top.
Do I foresee Ninja Boy to pick up some play in current meta? Maybe not current meta, but in Sun and Moon meta, I think it will pick up. Because of Taurus GX.
Good card is good. Can't see.
So yeah, it'll have its time, and it's coming. we'll be getting into the Dallas top 8 list soon, and also I've got a Metagame Matrix to look at, which some people might not know what that is, but we'll go over it all. It'll be fine. You'll love it, trust me. Probably.
Hopefully.
Ah, that's a problem. I was fine until you've done those things. Rip. Uh-oh. That does change my play. Gotta go here now.
Guillotine is such a troll card.
Why?
I just think it's so anti-Greninja. It's brilliant.
Oh, the non-EX? Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
That is just a troll card.
If your opponent's Pokemon has Greninja in the name, it has no abilities.
Hey.
It's like...
Yeah, Mega
like
Break is
that.
pretty sad as well, okay.
It's like that, that interaction between Duran and
Heatmore.
Heatmore that we saw ages ago. It's just one of them being a real dick to the other. It's just, yeah, if you're a Duran, you're not allowed to do it. You're going to take more damage. You're weak to me anyway, but you're going to take more damage. Do you know why? Because I said. Ooh.
Jack asks, despite not being the best deck in format, do you see Volk being the best place deck in the format once Sun and Moon hits? What do you think, Jack?
I think it definitely wouldn't surprise me if it is. I think it's kind of that effect of people are going to be testing new things. And Volk doesn't gain much other than, like, I mean, card wise, it doesn't gain much, as in it needs to find slots for things or anything. It can just play a super consistent list and bop things while people are testing out different matchups or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Or different cards or whatever. And I think even when the format's established, it still gains some good matchups because we think Lurantis is going to be very good. I think Solgaleo will be played, which is weak to it, and whilst we've talked about a way of being able to get around them one-shotting you, they can still one-shot you sometimes, and it's just such a huge swing in their favour because they're a basic and you're a stage 2. And whilst you've had this big turn of Soul bursting, like, is that enough? And I think sometimes it isn't.
Yeah, true. And Decidueye, obviously.
Oh yeah, and Decidueye's good and weak, so bad.
Good and weak.
Good and weak, so bad.
Full sentences by Jack Gold.
I do a maths degree, not an English
Here we
degree.
go.
Get out of my hair. Those aren't the cards I wanted though.
Not Silent Lab.
Not Silent Lab. I've gone through 3 though, so I kind of didn't expect it.
Yeah, I think Volk, even matchups that aren't just weak to fire, just because there's lots of lower HP Pokemon, it means that the turn 1 Baby Volk is not only setting up your board, but it's probably taking a prize on its way as well. So
yeah,
that bodes really well as well. Really want to take a prize this turn.
I don't even know that it won't turn out to be the best deck in format eventually after it all dies down. I think that's one that we would have to wait until a month or so into the format, I guess. But
I need energy this turn. That's definitely what I need, though. Can't be too
I think
greedy.
Volk is very well placed.
I'm losing a lot of VS Seekers. Fuck me. God,
Like
potty mouth
which?
today. Actually, that's 60. Okay. My Sander KO here, he always responds, then I'm on no energy for a few turns. That's not good news. Okay, has to be this. Do I ever still attack here? Puts me down to 110. No, it puts him down to 100. That's a number. I'll tell you that much. He can just simply replace Stadium KO for game. Don't like the sound of that on Shaman. He could... How many switch cards do we have left? We still have those. Okay. I think I'm doing it. I'm being a real man. I think this is my way to win.
Bop.
See you later, Power Mouse. Thanks. Ah, it's over. It's so over.
Oops.
Yeah, that's the problem. If it's Jirachi build, this deck does not struggle because we have Magina. But if we're going off graft and roll, that boy, roly-poly, then we're in a lot of troubles.
I was more thinking Lawrence and CGI being as pro as Joe and Jack mentioned. I think both are really good decks. We don't do videos anymore about when we're streaming. It's kind of a bi-weekly video. Like next week we'll probably do one. I don't know. It's
You just
just
have to. It's meant to
we
be
do.
a weekly stream, so just
Yeah,
putting
we've
up a
only
video.
We've only missed one.
Yeah, putting up a video saying, "Guess what? We're streaming again." It gets kind of boring. Everyone sort of should know now. Hopefully,
Yeah.
people should come to expect it.
Sometimes we'll do them, sometimes we won't. Like, just assume we're streaming at this sort of time every week, and if we're not, then we will have said on the Facebook or whatever. So if you go over and like the Facebook page, that'll be the first place that we let you guys know whether if we're not streaming for whatever reason.
I'm a long way away from deck out.
Oh, I was going to say, is this where we're going with this, Joe? Because I have a lot of time for this. This is okay.
Well, it's all I could ever do that turn, right? So
Yeah. I don't know what switching cards you play, but I guess you could have it was either that or switch, and if you can't switch, then that's the only play.
Well, switch, I still lose to Lysander.
Yeah, that's true.
Here, I never lose straight away.
Yeah,
Which seems alright. Sounds like a decent option.
I've heard it's good. For goodness sake. For delaying the inevitable.
I will find you. It's 8:15 p.m. GMT is when we always start. No Sun and Moon stream background. Oh, I forgot to update it.
Oh,
Sorry.
Joe.
Sorry. Forgot to update it. Next time.
Tune in next week for a Sun and Moon stream background.
It's on my video background. I'm pretty sure. I might have it.
You should have the file. I sent it to you. I don't know. What do I know, huh?
Huh. I'll have to look for that.
Huh. Okay, let's look at resources here. Ooh. That's a lot of energy gone.
No, it's not.
Don't lie to me. But the main thing was the Olympia and the VSCK count, which means I can Lysander again.
No, you can't.
It's all lies.
Vicious rumors. It's all vicious rumors. Oh boy. Sen Kalberg is now following. Thanks so much for the follow.
Thank you very much.
Oh hey, I play more of these.
Oh god. You're not taking a prize.
You're not doing damage.
This is not happening. Oh boy. Can I still lose this game? Very, very possibly. Oh my goodness me.
Last stadium for game?
That's a top deck.
No, 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 no! Oh, that's a pretty good top deck.
That wasn't the top deck.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Is it over?
Come here and get Moonlight Slashed.
Little boy. Little man child. Man cub.
I actually shouldn't have attacked with the Greninja.
Why not?
I should have attacked with the 100. If I was attacking with a Greninja, not a break, I should have attacked with the one with more damage on it, because I've got a break left, so... numbers. J Monk asks if he could get a game in.
Sure thing.
Yeah, Mike, it's 8 PM or 8:15 GMT, so I think we're 5 hours ahead of East Coast and 8 hours ahead of West Coast. No, yeah, that way around, yeah. So translate to that, I guess. It's not West Coast, is it? What's West Coast time? Is that Pacific? I don't know my American times. I'm sorry, guys, I'm bad at world geography.
Damn it! I've missed things.
He missed DCE. Oh dear. It's alright, I missed energy as well.
Good. Good.
But...
Balloon N. No.
Oh, again, I should have attacked with the other Greninja. Silly Jack.
Silly Jack.
You've really dragged out this game. This Giratina has been dead for about 10 turns.
I'm trying.
Oh god.
I'm trying hard, okay?
Still not dead.
Can I attack into a balloon is my next question.
Maths, quick.
I promote...
Doob Snacks. Hello, how you doing?
60, 60, 60. That's all you need. That's all you... yeah, I lose.
Yeah, you lose.
Okay.
Unless...
No, I don't win. It was me. Oh, it was that painful Sycamore.
I think your only win condition now was... Well, I assumed you had one DC left. Was it prized?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I think your only win condition was deck out. And when you end...
I thought it was Sky Return Loop, maybe, is my win condition.
Yeah, possibly.
For damage.
I think that's rough though. I think that's still
I had to assume
a very difficult board state to win from.
Yeah. It was just the 2E hammer is so hard to come back from. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's the main reason I'm not playing this deck this weekend.
Yeah.
But here we go. Anti-meta box.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and grab a drink quickly, and then I'll be back, and we can talk anti-meta box.
Yeah.
So
let people have a little look.
Yeah.
At this monstrosity. So this is Anti-Meta Box. It's a deck I've been testing for about 2 weeks, and I've finally given up on it because Greninja plays 2E Hammer too often and 2 Max Potion too often, and those things combined are too painful, even with 2 Fairy Drop in the list. I know I didn't get to use both of them, but it's mainly the issue of the E-Hammers. Yeah, I can show you the Greninja list as well. It's my list, so I've got it on here anyway. I can give you the exact 60. How viable is Misty's in this deck? Misty's is a very powerful card in this deck. For the reasons that you just saw, when I had to do that painful Sycamore, getting rid of 2 VS Seekers, which I think at that point I was still very much in the game, If Misty's in my discard pile there, I could Misty's and just hit an energy, because that's all I needed. So then I save myself a VS Seeker and a Sycamore, so I'm way safer from his ends. And I have that extra VS Seeker for extra Lysander, which gets me around a balloon, or extra Olympia, which gets me out of the active. So I think the main reason I like Misty is because it's a 5th Sycamore in terms of I need to dig a lot of the time. I just need a special energy, which is why I'm playing it over Skylar. I just need to hit a special energy. And looking at the top 8, oftentimes it does that. And on turn 1 as well, it can be Ultra Ball. And Ultra Ball is Hooper, and that's everything you need. Joe's standard support line is for Misty for Shauna. Do you still like Misty over Skylar? Yeah, I like it over Skylar in here just because of the special energy. That's the main reason. And the fact that it's still almost as good as Skylar a lot of the time for finding Ultra Ball, just the majority of the time. So, let's rattle down the game plan for different decks. So, obviously, against Yveltal, we have a 3-2 Zebra line, and Lugia EX isn't bad either. So that's how we just pretty much bop Yveltal. Going up against Greninja, as you saw, that's the hardest matchup. That's the one I've not been able to nail down perfectly. But the concept is lock Chaos Wheel with Parallel City, so they're only doing a maximum of 60 per turn when you have this guy in play. So you're hoping that with Fairy Drops and Olympia and Fury Belt, that was probably the main thing. I didn't have Fury Belt on either of my Giratinas. If I have Fury Belt on either of them, I think I have a lot more survivability. I think that game I had to put Fury Belt on this guy, and that really hurt me. But the sooner you lock in Chaos Wheel, it means that you're not getting hit with balloons. It means all their splash energies become dead. It limits them a lot. So Chaos Wheel is really good against Greninja. Whenever I played Tina Garb, Chaos Wheel is such a good attack to do. You saw I did use Magina. With a Fury Belt, it can hit 130, which isn't terrible. Additionally, Lugia can hit 150 with Deep Hurricane. The main issue being that you get rid of your own stadium. So, yeah, that's the sort of win condition we go for. It wasn't enough. Maybe I need more healing. Maybe I need an extra Fury Belt or something like that to swing it. But I think maybe even Special Charge, to be honest. That might be the thing I need. So yeah, that's the Greninja.
Hello.
Okay, I've just talked about Greninja and against Yveltal. I'll carry on in my little rant before I let you jump in and question some cards.
Carry on.
Against Volk, we have the Salamence to keep them in check. So if they want to go Crazy Hooper, 2EXs and Shaman start, we don't mind because we have Beastly Fang. So if you get a one-hit KO, combine it with a Hex, you basically net yourself 4 prizes, which is like GG from there, pretty much. Alternatively, the most often approach is turn 1, you're going to put an energy on Tina. And then, again, you're going to try and lock Silent Lab in. This is why we play 1 Lab in here. Chaos Wheel with a Fury Belt, lock the Lab, or play Hex. Either one works. And then you have to find 1 Fairy Drop. They hit you for 130 or 140. You Fairy Drop out of that range, and then you attack again. So you get a 2-hit KO whilst receiving a 3-hit KO. And not only does that buy you prize exchange, it gets you a KO and a half. It also buys you time to attach onto your second Volcanion, your Lugia, or your Salamence. So that's the win condition against Volk. All the time, bear in mind that the Zeb Striker piece is not to be slept on because it's a DCE for 2 prizes. Always, because there's always Shaman around, especially when we're the one dictating Parallel. Parallel limits their output, gets rid of our Shamans and Hooper and stuff, so it's really good. The Zebra's been very helpful in lots of random matchups, even stuff like Mewtwo and stuff, because if you just have it in the active, it's a non-EX, so it's forcing 7 prize trade, but at the same time, if they just ignore it and Lysander around it, I can still punish them for their Shamans and stuff, so the Zebra's been really cool. What else is there? For Mewtwo, we just have to Lysander the Garb. Lysander Garb with Chaos Wheel, and we win. As long as it's not Sosa's build, where it's a 2-1 split and 1 Hex, which I don't feel many people play. So I feel confident enough against Mewtwo. Against Guardy, we just have to double Magina. We have to try and hooper out 2 Maganas, get an EXP share on one of them. EXP share is a cool one-off in this deck, because put it on either Salamence or Magana when you're attacking with either Salamence or Magana, and you get that little bit of acceleration which can help. There's way too many variables with this deck. I know. It's been testing really well though, DMA. Honestly, it has been testing well for me. The variables, it sounds like there's too many. I know what you mean. And there's quite a bit of dead weight in certain matchups. But a lot of the time, these cards are interchangeable. Like, Lugia is good in every matchup, pretty much. Giratina is a fine attacker in most matchups. The biggest issue with this deck is when you don't hit, like, Ultra Ball turn 1, or if you prize Hooper, or if you start Hooper. These are big issues, because then you can't thin your deck of these EXs, and you can't get good value of Parallel City. I think it's a lot more than just a cute deck. I've been testing it for like 2 weeks now. It's adapted and evolved to a point where I'm happy enough with it. So it's close to being good enough. If Greninja were playing lists from 2 weeks ago, I think I might rock up to Leipzig with this deck. But now that Max Potion and E-Hammer is such a prominent card, like 2 or 3 counts of both of them, I just can't play this deck now. But I really wanted to. So that was a creation that I was working on for a while. But I can't see it through because it doesn't beat Greninja enough, unfortunately, even with the 2 fairy drops. I was hoping that was enough. I was playing second Salamence 1 PCL before today, and I was thinking that PCL wasn't impactful enough. A lot of the times I need to draw cards to keep getting energy and stuff like that, so I went to fairy drops to see how that worked, and it's not worked out great, to be honest. But yeah, so yeah, that's going in the bin, but I really do like that deck, and it would be a lot of fun to play and test with. So if you have any questions with that, or Jack, if you have any questions with it.
I don't really, well, because we've talked about it a bit, I've kind of asked you a lot already. I'm trying to think of any general questions.
The main thing I really like is going up against the rogue decks. Giratina is so good at punishing rogues. Like, it beats stage 1s.
Yeah.
It beats Gyarados. It beats a lot of stuff just because
locking
Chaos
3 really, like, random different things out. It covers a lot of the field when you're not thinking about standard matchups.
Definitely. I don't know why people aren't seeing how I beat Volk. It's pretty standard. It's no different from playing Tina Garb, which used to do it, in my eyes.
I feel like it's slightly better than Tina Garb because Salamence is the thing now.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, I haven't played as Volk against this, but...
Because, okay, so here's the mentality. If Volk wants to go quick and wants to go turn 1, steam up, steam up, steam up, get an attack off for like 80 or 100 damage with their baby, then I can just punish them with Salamence straight away. Weave in a Hex, I've taken 4 prizes. Like, it's simple as that. I'm so far ahead at that point that I can Chaos Wheel a Shaman for game or whatever else. If I want to go the slower approach, or if they're choosing to limit their own EXs, I just go for the Tina, either lock in Silent Lab or just play a Hex and time that well. I think that beats it.
Yeah, I mean, like you're saying, I look at this deck and I think Salamence just gives it that punch that, like you say, if they want to go more aggro and start trying to maybe take a prize with an on-EX or whatever, you can really apply pressure with it, with Salamence.
People are saying they know it's coming, but at the same time, I can leave it on my bench with just like EXP share, or just 1 energy, like 1 metal, and it's threatening enough that they have to target that. And if they're targeting that, it means I've still got 4 energy on Tina to keep going for Chaos Wheel.
And the other thing is, you can, like we're saying, you can lock in Silent Lab as well.
Yeah.
And you have the...
Don't sleep on locking in Lab. That's like the biggest play you can make against Volk.
I think...
It's not asking for a lot. It's really not asking for a lot.
I can see why it may be... Like,
even locking in, even if I lock in Parallel, they're down to 110, and I'll have 210 HP. So they need to commit every EX to their own board. And all have a steam up. So it's not asking a lot. It doesn't have to be the Silent Lab that gets locked in. any of these stadiums really punishes Volk. Either I put it against them so that they physically can't steam up enough, or I reduce their fire output so then they can't do it. Volk does run Ranger, that's true. But they have to have Ranger and Thought Energy in their hand. So good luck to them.
And counter the stadium.
And at the same time, I still play Hex at times.
I feel like it's... Like, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with either side, but I feel like it's such, like, a kooky deck. You have to play it.
It's one of these things where I've played it a lot. And I think maybe from the outside looking in, it's hard to see my lines.
Yeah, I think if you try the deck, you might still feel the same way. And if that's the case, fair enough. But I feel, because of how, like...
I've also played a lot. I've played a lot of Tina this season as well, so...
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. It's one of these things where they have to have the perfect hand to have the answer that turn. And they don't. So often they don't.
Yeah. I think it's just one that you've got to try, I guess. Like, there's no way this is...
I've not struggled against Volk at all. And even then, okay, so even if they get the dream, I can then just, if I have no energy on the board even, I can just DC Aero Ball, play Hex, and I'm still in the 2-hit war, or the 3-hit war if I fear about the Lugia. So, it's really not... Why the 1 EXP share? EXP share, mainly it's for Guardy, because Guardy can reload on you so quickly if you don't put down your Lab or your Hex. That you need to put it on your second Magina, or you put it on Salamence waiting in the background. Just to, or even the Lugia EX, just to give you a slight bit of acceleration to maybe keep up against them. DMA is just never going to agree with me. In my testing, I've played against 5 Volks and I've won 4. That's all I'll say. So, and that's going back to earlier builds where my build was worse. So. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Regardless, the deck doesn't beat Greninja enough. That's the big question. Greninja's the biggest issue.
I think someone also wanted to see the Greninja list if you have it built.
Yeah.
Let's move on from this, because it's a deck that Joe isn't playing. We'll go with that.
Jack.
Yes.
How mental is 3 Silent Lab 4th Balloon? People are saying they're struggling with Megas.
I don't mind it. Yeah, I don't mind it. I think there's going to be games where Silent Lab just wins you the game, but Silent Lab just wins you the game in some games just getting it down turn 1. I think it's only against Gar. Oh, mind you, you never know when a
Silent Lab is sick against
baby
Guardy.
Tina is going to pop up.
I do know that's a really small sample size, but I've played like 50 games with that deck and I've only played against Volk 5 times. So yeah. Plus it's PTCGO, so I guess it's less than that. I wouldn't say I always beat Volk. I say I have a favourable Volk though. Regardless, we're dropping the deck. Razak, you're saying you're going to play 0 Lab in Greninja?
It's crazy. It's crazy. Giratina promo the card. You play around it. Interesting.
But the thing is, Silent Lab means you can play around it 4 times and win.
You'd rather have healing. Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, we're still playing the Max Potion, so we have healing in other respects.
Oh, there's so many questions. Okay. DMA said it could be like the EU meta is slightly different, so
no,
he's just basing...
Volk always plays Ranger. Volk plays Ranger here as well. It's not a thing. It's just they need to have. I can't be bothered.
Is Starmie better than Talonflame? I personally think Talonflame isn't. Talonflame Ninja, I've never liked as much as straight Ninja, and I don't know. I just prefer the list without Talonflame. I think Talonflame is one of the most personal preference cards like that we've seen in a long time based on Greninja, and I personally I don't think it works as well as I'd like it to. There was a while where you really did like it, Joe.
Yeah, I've faded away from that now.
Yeah, I was wondering if there was any. Why do you think that is?
Why have I gone away?
Yeah.
Spaces, first of all, because I need spaces to play hammers and max potions. I think in current meta, which is pretty sad. Complexities in here, slagging us off.
Wow. Starmie is very MVG though.
Yeah, well, I trust Bert because Bert kind of got 8-foot worlds, so I think I trust him on Greninja more than most people. How excited are we to play test Sun and Moon? Super excited.
So
I'm so done with this format.
I'm literally checking like online stores every day for pre-orders for Sun and Moon.
Yeah. I'm
so excited.
Alright, so that's Greninja. It's a pretty simple list. The Silent Lab comes in because Guardy's getting more popular and because Tina Promo is a threat, potentially, question mark. It turns out in the list that I've tried to build with the Tina Promo so far, it's not worked out well. So maybe Tina Promo sees a lot less play than people are all anticipating, but I'd rather not just lose.
I think you need, at least for a week or two, you need to bite the bullet and just build around it until we find out how big it is.
For me as well, I don't feel like Silent Lab is a handicap by any means. It's a really good card. It's a really good card anyway.
It is, but I kind of get what people are saying about Rough Seas, because Rough Seas is insane with Greninja. Yeah. After playing it in London, it's just nuts.
It is.
But like you're saying, Silent Lab isn't a handicap, and it helps. It's not like playing Zero Stadium, or it's still it's just perhaps not as useful as.
My biggest annoyance is how you can't insta play it a lot of the time. You sort of have to hold it, be like, where's that Tina? I've got to have the answer to it when it comes. Maybe you insta play the first one. And maybe like Razak said, you can spend a long period of the game without your abilities. We know that it can handle zero abilities, so maybe you just need to conserve like one lab for that one turn where you overcome them with like 2 shurikens.
Mm.
Anyway, what should we do? Should we look at Dallas now?
I think Luke is on the way, so if you want to maybe get a viewer battle or something, until Luke said he was going to be about 10 minutes, but that was about 15 minutes ago. So
classic.
We'll give it.
He's always late.
We'll give it 5 or 10 minutes, and if he's still not here, we'll start looking at Dallas.
Oh. We can have a quick game then.
I didn't know whether someone in the chat wanted a game, but I can
ask. I can't remember we're going. I just remember fighting my corner for anti-meta box, even though I'm not going to play it.
I just want to hype the new set.
Manpens 101, how's it going?
Yeah, Sun and Moon is so good. I've never been this hyped for a set ever. I think, I don't know. I probably haven't actually.
Been a good 6-month period where
Steam
Siege was good. Yeah. There was a lot to offer in Steam Siege.
But you've got to admit this
is like a whole new beast.
This set is definitely something new.
Such a large set as well.
We can tell this is something new. Luke's just said can I add him, so we can go over Dallas now if you want.
Okay, cool.
if you want to get those open. We will add Kirkham to the call. Yeah, I think this is one of the first times we can genuinely see the game is going in a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
And they've said, okay, we want these really powerful Pokemon, but we want them to be evolutions as well.
What up, Luke?
Hello, it's Kirkham.
Hello.
Alright, I've nipped over to the old monitor capture to look at the top 8 list from Dallas, Luke. Should I drop the link in our Skype quickly for you?
I've got it.
If you do it on Facebook, that'd be better.
I've got it up. I can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Should we start with 8 or 1?
Okay, I thought I had it up. Where was it
8.
gone?
8. Okay. We just had a follow as well, but I missed it because I was elsewhere.
Okay, let me find this thing real quick.
I'm worried about moving away from my monitor capture to check. Oh well. Okay. We'll catch up with the follows in a minute. But thanks for the follow, whoever you are.
I can't
We do
find
appreciate
it. Oh, yeah,
it, and
okay.
I'll shout you out in a
Wait,
minute.
no. I can't find it. Drop a link in the chat.
Ah, dearie me. Useless.
Where has it gone? It's just showing me the link for Melbourne. I don't want to go to Melbourne. That's not what I need at the moment. Here we are.
Okay.
Theme Siege was crazy because it would be legal for Worlds.
Yeah.
Oh, he wants me to send it in. I can send the link in the chat as well, just so you guys can follow along
that's a
if
good
you want to
idea.
look as well. But
Okay, so we'll start off with Marcus Garcia's Greninja list. He was one of 2 Greninja players who made it. And he was playing Talonflame build. So 4-4, 3 Froakie,
Interesting.
3 Break, 4 Talon, 1 Beedrill. Jack, you played Beedrill in London. You did like it.
yeah, I think Beedrill is a really, really good card. I don't know. I think he, when Yveltal's still the most expected deck, it's a very good card. It can deal with Garbodor if that's what it needs to, but it can also get rid of a Fury Belt for a turn as well. Meaning that if they try and like outlive you that way, that's minus 40. That you can like even take a prize if you've managed to deal 170 to a Yveltal already, and you just couldn't reach the knockout. So I think it's a really, really nice card.
What I
And
like
they often can't respond
God.
KO it as well.
Yeah, I was getting onto that point. What I like a lot is he's playing 3 Max Potion. So even if they replace the tool again, you just Max Potion, reattach, I'll double scrap it again.
Yeah,
So-
and it means if they they don't and they don't knock it out, you can retreat it and just leave, and you can like Max Potion it on the bench as well. So it's never really, they have to put a lot of effort into knocking this thing out in a turn.
Talonflame, we've debated it a lot. So I do like the damage that Aeroblitz provides. That's the main thing that I do like from Talonflame. Even if you're getting end all the time, it forces end at the very least. I just like that early pressure is something. It's some sort of poke to soften things up. Because there's been a lot of times where I just see one big EX simply sweep.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, there's a few decks that try and just KO Froakie turn 1, Frogadier turn 2. So we know that Talonflame is still serving all these roles. So, I don't know, maybe it's a thing where the EU is... I know that everyone in the US is going off Grafton's list, which is fair enough, because he's like been doing really well all season with it. So, maybe Talonflame's fine.
Yeah, I think, like I was saying earlier on, I think it's one of the most like debated personal preferences in a deck we've seen in a long time, and I think that's the key to it. It's down to personal preference. Sometimes people like Talonflame and they have arguments for the 40 poke, and they have arguments for not starting Froakie and things like that. But I think equally, people that don't play Talonflame, me included, would have arguments for that's 4 slots that, okay, probably 3 slots, because you're probably always having one of those, well, you're always having one of those as a 4th Froakie. So that's 3 slots that you're not running other cards in that maybe you would prefer. So I think there's arguments both ways, and it's just a preference.
Okay, so the standout for me in his supporter line, well, there's a couple really. 2 Lysander. I think that's really to complement Beedrill more than anything else, right?
Yeah.
The one count is standard, but the 2 count is to try and stall Garb, win game, basically.
Yeah.
3N scares me. Maybe that's one of his cuts for the Talonflame line.
Yeah.
He's playing a Flare Grunt as well. Flare Grunt and 1E Hammer.
I always see. I guess Flare Grunt's fine if you're playing 1E Hammer. I always see Greninja as a really, really difficult list to fit more than 60 cards, or to fit like. There's always more cards that you want than the 60, and when you're running Talonflame as well, I don't know.
The thing that
I
I
just think-
find, I don't like Flare Grunt in here personally, mainly because I rarely ever have a luxury turn of a supporter with Greninja. I'm constantly on the back foot, and I'm like, okay, I need to dig for the next Greninja, I need to dig for the next Frogadier, I need to find my breaks this turn. So
Yeah.
like, I never feel I can have a turn to just grunt and chill.
Whenever you're grunting, I guess you're already ahead. So
Yeah, I don't like grunt too much. This would for me, this is either second E Hammer or just 4th N.
I think I'd need to test it to be persuaded to play it. But
Okay. Stadium count 2 lab 1 faded. I don't mind this at all. It's pretty good.
yeah,
The
deals
3
with
count seems to be
a lot.
the one that people are landing on more than 4 a lot of the time.
Yeah,
Faded's cool for numbers.
Geomorph has never been able to make it to a stream. So welcome to the first stream, Geomorph. We're not playing Pokemon at the moment.
We'll be on PTCO CGO in a minute, but we're just going over Dallas's top 8. 4 Dive, 4 VS, 2 Ultra. Obviously, when you play Talon, you play Ultra. If you don't play Talon, you play other Ball Search.
Yeah,
3
That's
Balloon,
fine.
3 Max Potion. Really heavy Max Potion count.
I like it though. If you're not playing Rough Seas, I like 2 or 3 Max Potion, and I think if you can justify the slot that the third one takes, I don't disagree with it necessarily.
1 Super Rod makes me so scared.
Yeah,
That's the first thing I noticed of the list.
It triggers
I
me
was
so
like,
hard.
whoa.
It
Like-
scares me.
okay, so I think for me,
Especially with only 3N.
yeah, I think for me, Flare Grunt would become a 4th N, and then the Talonflame, you'd get 1 Froakie, 1 Rod. I think you change your Ultra Balls for level balls. I don't know. Then you're getting to the last 2.
You've just rebuilt
2
our
cards
list.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I have.
For me, if I keep Talonflame build, if we keep the Pokemon and the energy the same, I think for me,
Yeah,
I cut
okay.
1 Max Potion. I think 2 is often enough. That's a big enough swing, I think, a lot of the time. Just to play second Rod. And I think Grunt just becomes 4th N for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
guess so.
The energy line I'm fine with.
What do you think of 3 Bursting Balloon? Is the other thing? Do you think it's preferred now?
It seems like that's a cut a lot of the time, just because Max Potion is the same as 60 damage, basically. Because if you're assuming that you Max Potion, you survive, and then... No, sorry, you take a hit, you Max Potion, and you can then take another hit. It's the same as having 60 damage, because you're getting an extra attack in, but you're also keeping your board state better. So, I do like what Max Potion provides, definitely. So I think... I definitely play at least 1 Max Potion over just 4 balloons. So, I don't mind that at all.
Yeah.
Okay. Decent. Right, let's look at Noah Sawyer. He's the first of the many Mega Guardies. So, the 3-3 Guardie, 4 Shay, 2 Dragonite, 2 Hooper, 1 Hawlucha, 1 Rat. I think this is the same line in every one of the Guardies that we've seen.
I can have a look whilst we...
What do we think about this line?
I mean, I think the line is fine. What really surprised me is the amount of guard running around, and then for this deck to just come back and do really well and dominate just really sort of caught me off guard. I didn't expect it because
I was super
it does
surprised as
struggle
well.
with Garb.
Yeah.
Because their stadium, not their stadium, their actual supporter count, like the 2 and the 3 Sycamore, that's all they have.
Yeah.
So unless they just happen to have Lysander in hand, KO Garb and Trollolol from there,
Yeah.
like
I
I can see
guess-
them struggling a lot from Garben.
Yeah, I think I was going to say, I think Garben is so huge, but I guess they just rely on dodging it and applying pressure.
I think Fairy Drop to some extent, God, I can't even talk. Some extent helps that out as well, because
Yeah.
you don't really need a board. No, I mean, you don't need a hand against Yveltal, which is the main Garb deck. Like, you don't care about Mewtwo anyway. You beat Mewtwo regardless. Unless you're Connor Finton, I think it was, who lost to him. To Igor. But again, you could probably just attribute that to either drawing badly at the start of the game or drawing badly after an N and a Garb. But I think the deck is super YOLO. It's just the greediest build of Guardy possible right now. 7 Fairy scares me a lot as well.
I'm gonna say I'm looking at this list and I'm feeling like you just miss things sometimes.
Yeah.
You miss Supporter sometimes. You miss Energy sometimes.
3 Mega Turbo is quite high as well. I think some counts are weird in this deck.
Yeah, maybe like 8 Energy, 2 Mega Turbo. I don't know.
I think I prefer 8 and 2.
Or even just Skylar and add Letter somewhere else.
Yeah, because at least that's another turn 1 supporter for an Ultra Ball.
I loved Skylar and Guardy. Playing it back in Liverpool, I think I played 3. Now 3 probably was too high, but 1 or 2 Skylar is really good in this deck. Do we like Rat and Horlucha? Do they both stay? By the way, I think the Rat is always a keep. Personally,
I think Rat's good.
Is Horlucha always a keep?
I think it's a metagame call. I think if expecting maps some lock stuff or things like Glaceon and stuff like that, then by all means play Horlucha. But I think with the amount of Gyarados creeping up, I think Absol would probably be a better one-off.
That's exactly what I was going to go on to say.
Yeah, I think
it's actually really good for Mirror as well, Absol.
I think it's like we're saying, a metagame call. I don't hate it, but it just depends on what you're going to see on the day.
I'd like to see this become... If we're expecting a lot of Guardy, I'd like to see this become an Absol, because you can do your full bench other than your Guardy, and how much you're doing, like 180 or something, and then you just Absol to place 3 counters onto their other one, so then they have to... Then you're like in 1-hit KO range again, so they have to Fairy Drop their bench, or they have to like just fall into the hands of getting KO'd. Yeah. So I'd quite like to see Absol. And obviously it saves you against Gary. Okay, so what do you think about Brock's Grit in here?
Interesting. I don't think it's bad. I think it's fine because you do have in decks where you're not being ability locked, you have so much draw through Pokemon that you can afford to play Brock.
Yeah, that's
very true. I still think I prefer it as a Super Rod though.
Okay.
I don't think it's bad. I just think personally I'd play a second Super Rod over it. Yeah.
Going back to Luke saying when you have abilities, you have that luxury of draw. But in decks where you have abilities, it's probably because they want abilities. So it's either Volk or Ninja. So you want to be hexing them.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the time this can be super odd because it does the same thing a lot of the time. You don't need to 1-hit KO every turn. That's not how I see this deck. So the Brock's Grit does seem like overkill.
Mm.
The only time being when you have to like Sycamore away a Rod and then you're super sad. But
yeah, I was going to say, I think the other thing is, like, as much as painful as it can be and as anti-insta play as it can be, at least Super Rod's another insta play card, where for a deck which runs lower counts than normal, like you can at least turn 1 Super Rod 1 energy back in or whatever to get another card off of Shaman.
Yeah.
So at least it's kind of more insta play, I guess, as well.
And on that same thought process, he does play 1 Buddy Buddy for that sort of insta recovery.
Yeah.
And Buddy Buddy can be an insta 3 Pokemon because of Dragonite.
Yeah, I was going to say, I really like it with Dragonite.
It can be like an extra 10 Pokemon if you just grab Hooper. Dragonite into Hooper into Dragonite type shenanigans. So
disgusting.
Do you think 1 Parallel is enough to balance any of your bad matchups? I don't think it is. I think you accept your losses, or just try and hex turn 1 against those 2 decks. Rainbow Road and Ray, I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think both
Yeah.
are still hard with one parallel because they like both can reload off of one quite consistently. Both can be expected to have to reload off of one parallel, and if they don't have to then do it, like the second parallel is what really hurts them a lot of the time. I'm thinking like obviously both decks, but I think Ray even more so than Rainbow Road.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they can, most of these decks would expect to be paralleled and have to reload, so we'll save the resources to do so. But by the second parallel, they're often struggling to be able to reload again.
Hmm.
So it's just not forcing as many resources from them, and it's like, well,
I think for me as well,
that's one of the only win
because
conditions.
you want to play this so few times in a game that every time you draw this, it's one less card from Shaman, one less card of your Wombo combo. So I don't like this card in here. I'd like to hear his opinion on it, but I don't like it too much. Maybe there's something I'm missing. It probably does help out against Greninja because you're hurting damage and stuff like that, but they play a lot of Stadium as well, so I don't know. If I'm trying to limit Greninja's damage, I just play a third Fairy Drop.
Yeah.
Okay, Fairy Drop is, of course, one of the MVPs in this list. Just a 2 counter here. It's between 2 and 3, I think, a lot of the time. Really good card, right?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. So we're saying for this list, I think a lot of them are between 1 or 2 cards of each other, so we won't keep repeating ourselves, but what we like out of... So, we like the archetype right now. Maybe it gets a little bit weaker because Silent Lab is like a staple in Greninja now. So I think we have to sort of go a lot less all in on the Dragonite Hooper Shaman engine. I think we need to play 1 more energy at least. I personally would also play Skylar and Letter. So just a few more supporters, a bit more energy, and then you're less weak to Garb and Silent Lab and all these nasty things. I think that's enough to make this deck pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Let's look at the other Greninja list. This is, again, a Talon build. No Beedrill this time. So this is more typical. 10 energy this time, slightly on the higher side. 4 Sycamore, 3N, 1 Ace. Ace is pretty good. Fisherman, Lysander, Ranger. Also playing Team Flare Grunt. Interesting. Both the ninja lists playing Flare Grunt. And that's a card I definitely would not play.
Maybe we're missing a trick.
Maybe. But I never feel I have those turns.
I think, like, I'm trying to think in London, and I guess if you're not,
I mean, obviously it combos
if your
for
win
Max
condition,
Potion.
if your win condition against Yveltal isn't Rough Seas shenanigans, I guess sometimes it buys you an extra turn.
Yeah.
And this is playing 2 E-Hammer and 1 Flagrant, so that's
a lot
aggressive on that.
A lot of aggro. And you're sitting there cutting down to 2 balloons in favour of 3 Max Potion. So it's really heavy on the healing. So I guess the Flagrant works in that regard because you're just trying to make yourself bulkier. One thing that our teammate Medi's testing a lot is Assault Vest.
Yeah.
To make yourself effectively 210 HP.
Yeah.
If you cut in balloons to 2, then maybe try a
Maybe you could try 1 vest
strategy.
Yeah.
I think at that point 2 balloons isn't worth it. So I think that's where you play not a proper tool, but a tool that you don't discard at the end of the turn or whatever. I think that's where you play a tool that you only need 2 of because you can attach 1 turn 3 or turn 4 and it will see through for 2 or 3 turns.
Oh, again, I've just seen this list plays only 1 Super Rod. This is so crazy. I've never played a game where I've not needed Super Rod in my hand against playing Greninja from like turn 4 onwards. I've never been like, oh, Super Rod's so dead. I've been like, give me that now.
Yeah, it's an unusual one.
At the same time, though, I've not played Talonflame as much, so maybe they're just like, I don't want to rock
Yeah.
Talonflame back in.
I don't want to say like too much about that because I've very rarely tested the Talonflame build over the normal build. But I think if I'm trying to keep this list as close to this list as possible,
Yeah.
I changed the 2 balloons for vests,
Okay.
and I changed the flare grunt for a second rod.
Okay. I can see that. I still like Faded Town. He made a right call because there was a lot of both Mewtwo and Guardy. So I'm sure that helped him out a lot.
Yeah, I think the stadium's interchangeable on a week-to-week basis at the moment.
I think it was a brave call, but it really worked out for him. Because, like, Rough Seas was the obvious thing to play because of how much Yveltal there was. So picking Faded Town was a bold call, and it worked out really nicely. Okay, Darkrai Salamence from Jimmy Zhang. Okay. 3 Darkrai, 2 Salamence, 1 Tina. So he's preferring the aggressive route of Salamence.
Yeah, I like it.
That has to offer. 2 Garb, 2 Shaman, 1 Hooper. Simple list. Pretty much the same as Dark Tina used to be. But
yeah,
I think being more aggressive.
I think the Pokemon are super solid.
Pokemon and energy.
Disagree with any of it.
14 is the higher side, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's either 14 or 13. I don't mind the fact that he's kept it as high as possible.
I think I prefer 14 still.
Just to hit elixirs.
I'm fine with this.
Okay. 4 Sick, 2 End. Only 1 Lysander. Interesting. One Delinquent, 1 Olympia, 1 Team Flagrant.
I think 1 Lysander's fine with a heavier Salamence build because you're just hitting anything really hard.
I guess.
I've played 1 Lysander in a few decks and I've hated it.
Yeah, I absolutely hate it.
Raichu bats and stuff like that because I could never find it.
I think I only disagree with it in a couple of things. I only agree with it in a couple of things, but I think this deck can go like so heavy turn 1 with attachments and max elixirs and stuff that you can get away with just bopping whatever they throw up.
That's fair, I guess.
I've seen, like, when in London, me and Ben, when we weren't playing Farfetch'd Mirrors, me and Ben played a little bit with Darkrai Tina with 1 Salamence in it, and there were turns where he just like blew up.
Yeah.
And if they do that, you don't need Lysander at all because you can't promote anything that they're just not going to wipe the floor with.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, I like the Team Flagrant a lot. I like Delinquent a decent amount. Olympia's fine. I don't know if this... With Team Flagrant and Tui Hammer, I guess that balances out Yveltal. And you have to bear in mind that a lot of Yveltal players were shifting away from Fright Knight. Fright Knight was one of the biggest issues of this build previously.
Yeah. I'm looking down the rest of this list, and I just agree with a lot of it. I think this is a really, really... I think it's consistent. I think the counts are pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like you're saying, Fright Knight was it was an issue, and now people are going more EX builds and less Fright Knight builds, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he still has Olympia and Rope, because there's still 1 counts often.
Yeah.
But it means you get around it a lot easier. I think for me, the only space I try and work with is fit second Lysander, be it cut 1 energy or see how I like Delinquent. Delinquent's a card I've not played much personally.
Yeah, maybe like Delinquent and Flare Grunt are 2 like tech supporters that you...
Too many luxuries.
Yeah, maybe at that point you cut one of them for second Lysander.
Interesting. I do like the option to Delinquent though. It's just 1 Lysander scares me. And 2 Fury Belts slightly on the low side as well.
Yeah, they're the 2 things that stands out to me. I mean, other than that, I think the list is very good.
What do you think about the archetype? Obviously, it should, in theory, stomp Greninja.
Yeah, I think it's definitely one that
in
has
theory,
come back.
It's got a very good vault.
It's gone around and said, I don't know what the... I suppose Tina could be Guardy, could be difficult, but
yeah,
you can get Garb set up quick.
Again, you've got resistance on Darkrai, Garb. If you put Garb in, it means that you can't protect your double dragons because, like, you play Tina mainly to just protect DDE, protect your damage. So maybe it's like timing the Garb right, timing it when you're down to 2 prizes or whatever, or they're down to 2 prizes. But you can trade fairly efficiently. The only issue is that they play so many fairy drops.
Yeah.
I think that's how you fall behind more than anything, just because fairy drop out values you.
It's an archetype that I haven't put enough time into
I know the
testing myself.
the what's it called? The Someone's PC guys have done a good article on it.
Yeah.
And this is, I think, if you only play like 1 or 2 Guardi day 1, I think this could be a really good call.
Yeah, definitely. I quite like it.
Okay. More Mega Guardi. Let's look for differences. This plays...
First difference I see is
Go on.
a
Wow, 3 of the
generation
top
as well.
4.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, there are a lot.
What else? This plays 2 Switch and 1 Rope. So is that an extra Switch card? I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, 1 extra switch card instead of the parallel.
Okay.
So the 2 differences here are the other
One of-
Guardi and
yeah.
no parallel in favour of a switch.
I don't mind having the versatility of Life Leap at all.
No, I don't. I think it's just fine. I think
It's been very rare
You-
that it's come into effect. But again, it's one of these things where if you're in a mirror, that 20 damage can be really relevant a lot of the time.
I think
that early poke.
both Guardies are so similar, and I think the other Guardies' attacks aren't good enough to solely warrant play. Like, they're good, but I don't think they're 3 of a must play. I think this one has decent attacks as well.
I think Link Blast is the necessary one that you have to play at least one of. I think I never play full Life Leap.
No, but I don't think you ever have to either.
Yeah. Okay.
No, yeah. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, but again, same thoughts as the last time. I
Yeah.
don't think I even like 3 Switch cards. I think that can be really high. Because you're Despair Raying your full board whenever you bench chunky things. I guess it just guarantees turn 2 a little bit more because you're never whiffing
Yeah,
it.
I think with 3 Mega Turbo though.
Yeah, I would have, like, as long as you...
I just
I
don't
may
understand why there's not more Skylar in these lists with the counts of stuff they're playing.
I know, man! What's wrong with Skylar? My bae.
So you can take out a Switch card for a Skylar, and then it gives you so many things.
Yep, it gives you that Switch card, or Ultra Ball, which is pretty good. Or Spirit Link, which is also really necessary. Okay.
Yeah.
We've said our piece on this already.
Yeah.
More Guardi.
So Panda just said, "Are we not looking at chat?" We are gonna. I'm gonna go back after the discussion. I'm gonna go through everything that everyone said, but we're nearly at the end now, so we're just gonna go through the last few decks, and then we'll catch up.
Dallen's list is the same as Noah's, the first one that we looked at. Let's have a look at Igor's list. Igor ran with Mega Mewtwo. What a guy. What a guy. All damage change build. I know that I think the Fairy Drop build made top 16. I think it came like 9th or 10th. I'm still pretty content with the full Psychic build. What do you guys think? What's your favourite Mewtwo build right now?
I'd like to test the Fairy build.
I just like this build. I think feels like this build or bust is the way to go, because one of the biggest strengths of Mewtwo was damage change, and people sort of underestimate how important that is to the deck. It's not a huge one-hitting format, other than obviously Guardi because of weakness.
Yeah,
there's not many things that can one-shot Mewtwo. Fury Belt obviously makes that more difficult than other things, but I don't know. I prefer this build. I like the consistency of it. I like the damage change. It's what Mewtwo is to me.
Oh yeah, same for me. 2/1 Garb line with the 1-off Hex. This is something he's done before. He's done it again. Not many people follow his footsteps with this line. What do you guys think about it?
I can't remember what I tried 2/1 Garvin. I think it was I want to say like a Yveltal build, and I know it's a different deck, but I just didn't like the thought of a 2/1 Garb. It kind of I don't know. it didn't sit well with me. It like if Garb's prized, then you have to take prizes to be able to consistently ability lock. Yeah, you have. Oh god, something loud is happening.
Hex.
You have Hex, but does that always work? Do you always find Hex? Do you always find VSE until you find Garb? Not always. So I think sometimes you get really punished for not running that second Garb.
That's fair. What I do like though is if a Volk player, especially because Volk were going toward catcher builds, if a Volk player takes out that Garb, you still have Hex to fall back on. So it's not like your life is over when Garb gets turned off.
Yeah.
Like you still have the backup. I do like it. Well, I don't dislike it. It doesn't save you spaces in any way, but it just gives you versatility. And it gives you a turn 1 play as well. Hex turn 1 is still really good. Underestimated. Or underused at the moment. There's very few decks that Hex turn 1. I was playing Volk last weekend. I played against like 2 Guardies and they were doing it to me and it was so hideous to get Hex turn 1. And it's the same situation for a lot of decks. A lot of decks just like, please let me start Ultra Ball, let me start finding Shaman. Even like Yveltal. So just having the option to Hex turn 1 is so good.
Yeah.
For sure. I played a list obviously that played Silent Lab at the weekend, and I tested a little bit online since, and there's so many times where I put Silent Lab down turn 1 and they tend to not do a lot.
Yeah.
They tend to just sort of attach, draw, pass. Nothing extravagant.
Yeah, exactly. Everything else in the list looks as simple as pie, really. Energy count I like. What do you think about 4 Mega Turbo, Luke? Have you ever gone as high as 4 in your previous Mewtwo's, or is it?
I think when we had Battle Compressor, possibly. I know it was always at least 3. I think maybe once or twice it was 4.
Yeah.
To be honest, but obviously you had access to Battle Compressor, so you could make a turbo whenever you wanted within reason.
Mm-hmm.
And from sort of turn 1 onwards, you had the stuff to do it.
Is this more so that you can afford to Sycamore 1 or 2 away for our game, just to know that you can get them? I think
yes,
that's what it does for me in my head.
Yeah, in this moment, I think it's that extra one that you always tend to Sycamore 1 away, turn 1 or 2, and then late game you sort of miss it.
Yeah.
Again, this is another deck where I like Skylar.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be no love for Skylar right now, but there's so many one-offs in this deck, like parts of the puzzle. Not one-offs as such, but you sometimes need the Mega Turbo there and then. And yeah.
You need your
Link,
Link,
makes it difficult.
You need your Ultra. Interesting though, I can't really fault any part of this list.
Yeah, I think the only thing that I'm personally not a fan of is the 2-1 Garb, but he's done well with it twice now at least. So
yep,
I can't disagree with it. It's just a personal preference, I guess.
Let's look at Xander's list. I think this is the same as the other top 4 list. Oh no, this plays 3 Fairy Drop.
No. Yeah, and 1 switch.
1 switch, 2 ropes. So he's flip-flopped the switch cards. I really like 2 rope in Guardy.
Yeah.
Even with Hawlucha, I like 2 rope. Yeah, 3 Fairy Drop.
I think it's
very similar, isn't it?
Yeah,
a lot of them are opting for 3 Mega Turbo, and that surprises me quite a bit. Again, you're saying, Luke, that it's not a heavy one-hit KO format. I feel like Mega Turbo could easily just be an extra energy for me. Just don't whiff it turn 1, and you're chill. Oh. Anyway.
I don't know, yeah, it's just...
It's all down to preference. I mean, one thing we all need to take into account when we're looking at this or playing or building this is everyone has slightly different play styles, so you always need to tailor that to yourself. Some people prefer to play safe with more energy, some people like more techy things like Mega Turbo, etc. But
I think one thing it could be though is that you have a Guardy up front that gets punched in the face for half damage or whatever, and then you have 3 switch cards, so you can just switch, commit everything to your second one, just go, okay, let's go nuts, Spirit Link, Mega, attach, Mega Turbo. and then just despair ray the damage thing off. So I guess that makes sense. But you need such a good sequence of cards.
Yeah.
You need to be holding that sequence and hope that they don't end you out of that sequence of cards. And you play heavy fairy drop anyway, so if you get half KO'd turn 1, you don't care.
Yeah.
Just drop it all off. Drop it off at the pool. Anyway.
Get rid.
My mentality around Guardi is so different from these ones, it's really bizarre. I don't know what the meta was, though. I know that there was a lot of Dark still, and Mewtwo seemed to be a big play. Mewtwo was the most popular deck in top 32, so you can see how the Guardies went deep, just because they hit the right matchups enough, but these still feel to me like really greedy lists.
Yeah, but this format is so strange how it seems to be going full circle. Out of nowhere, I did not expect Mega Guardian, Mega Mewtwo to be sort of the most popular decks, and decks doing so well. So this format doesn't cease to amaze me.
Yeah,
Very strange
it's an
one.
interesting format.
Okay, so that's all of them. Let's we'll go back to PTCGO for a bit. We'll catch up on some comments.
I'm gonna say I've had to reset my Twitch, so I've lost all the chat messages. So you'll have to scroll back.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Joe, I can't.
Go and do some scrolling. Let me know what you guys think about our opinions on these lists and stuff like that. Let's scroll back a ways. See what's going on. Okay, let's move it. Okay, Starmie is so MVG. Okay, I definitely read that one.
We'll go from there.
Okay, I'm just trying
realised. Sorry, carry on.
No, just trying to catch up with comments.
Someone's talking about the hype for the new set. Not long now. It's coming in quick.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm really looking forward to the new set. I haven't checked today whether I can get pre-orders.
I'm definitely going to be pre-ordering a box from our lovely sponsors, Lottie Cards.
So am I, because I have enough. Yeah. Someone's asking why aren't the lower divisions taken more seriously? I think mainly it's just because we don't know the metagame as well. We would have to make so many assumptions.
I think that's the biggest thing. We have no idea whether the metagame's the same or not. And also, if, like, based on what we're thinking about as well, we're thinking about the Masters metagame. So, whilst we don't know their metagame also isn't our metagame. So we can't think about what's doing well in their divisions and then base what we're going to play next on that as well.
And those
because it's completely different.
Those tournaments carry a lot less weight to them as well, because you can't guarantee every player is good at the game, for one, and also they're just smaller tournaments, small amounts of people. Like 50 people is a huge attendance for like a senior or a junior tournament, so they carry the same weight as like an LC in Masters. So
in that respect, though, I don't feel it's because they're. I think I saw someone say because they're all bad or something like that, and there are people that are good juniors and seniors that go on to still be good Masters. I don't think that's why you don't see the metagames talked about as much. Just because most of the players that talk about the game are Masters, so they focus on the Masters metagame.
Mm-hmm.
Not to discredit the other two.
And it is a different level. I know there's some hate and there's some sort of jokes made at time to time, but there is definitely a difference in level. Maybe some of the, like I said, some of the top seniors, they can age up and they can still do really well. I'm not saying that all seniors are bad or anything along those lines, but it's definitely difficult.
It's just very
transition.
different. I remember the transition. It was weird.
Okay, so that's enough of that. Let's play some games for now. Let's have a little break. Get back to PTCGO, and then we'll look at our meta thing in a bit as well. So there wasn't much in the chat. There was a lot of spam from Sir Pandage saying Vape Nation. But yeah.
Where do you guys pre-order? I've pre-ordered from the UK. I don't know whether I'm going to get packs or just cards at the moment.
Luke, are you online?
I'm just logging in now.
Jack, we can get a sneaky one in.
Yeah, if it's boxes, I'll probably get them from... Oh, I've got to log in as well.
Ah, you guys.
Depends whether Luke beats me. If it's packs, then eBay is usually good. There's a couple of other places that I always look to, but are generally not as cheap. But then if it's cards, I usually buy from either eBay or Troll and Toad, just because I think Troll and Toad have pretty competitive prices, and have personally always been reliable for me. I know some people don't like them at all, but touch wood, personally, I've never had an issue. So
fair enough. Well, me and Luke are doing it via Lottie cards because we're sponsored by them.
Yeah, I'm not tied down, so I can say these things that I. But still, go and buy from Lottie cards.
Team Lottie cards.
Team Lottie cards. Have you seen their shirts?
We're getting them revamped soon.
Yeah.
With Beatles on them?
Yep. Just mine.
You betcha.
Just
and a Shauna on Luke's.
Yeah.
Yeah, Razarg. I've never personally had an issue with them. I know some people have had very bad issues with them, but I only ever order like in small amounts. I never like bulk order stuff from them. So if an order were to go wrong, it wouldn't be like I lost everything.
Yeah. I've never ordered from them, Troll and Toad, so I can't sort of comment.
Yeah, I've only when it was back when like people like Jaywitz and Pokemon Dan were doing videos that I first looked into actually buying cards from America, because all of a sudden like all of the American car dealerships decided to do free shipping worldwide, or like $2 shipping worldwide. And ever since, I like Troll and Toad just haven't. I think it's now $3 shipping worldwide, but that's still
not bad.
Not bad. It's like what, £2?
Yeah, that's it.
And all of their prices are pretty much usually on or below curve. Like, I think Full Art Ranger was $8 when it was first released, which isn't bad if you want them. Yes, you can whisper it to us, Sir Pandage, or send it on one of our... Oh, there you go.
So Pandage isn't going anywhere. Jack, he's not going anywhere. Nothing wrong with a bit of Vape Nation. Better jump on board.
Okay, he's sent us a deck list. It's a pancakes deck list.
Oh baby. Pancakes. What do you guys think about the archetype in general? Not necessarily the list, but just in general.
I think it's I think it's a mix. I think initially it was probably people just wanting to play Snorlax.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually think it's done okay. It's done. We've seen it's been able to counter some pretty big things and deal with some pretty big things. So I think it's pretty good. I don't think it's amazing, but I think it's a respectable archetype.
Yeah, I played at the weekend on the. Obviously, I don't know how much Joe spoke about this weekend before I arrived in the stream.
No, you can carry on. You're good.
We went to League Cup over in Norwich on the Saturday, but we got there Friday night and went to the league session that they run. And I played a very similar style deck, apart from I took out the Snorlax and put in
What?
Dragon Energies and played Salamence and Tina.
That's not the point.
We didn't have
And
Snorlax.
yeah, in my head, this deck in the EX heavy meta is better anyway because it's not 5 energy, which just seems gross.
Yeah.
Um,
Makes sense.
But I suppose one thing I do like is that you can, on the other ones, is you can put DC on Regirocks and they're safe. But
Yeah.
other than
I love
that,
the Regirocks.
I tried it out and it was just meh.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't do anything special for me. And I'm glad I played it on the Friday Night League, not in the actual tournament.
Yep.
That's for sure.
I feel like it was a bit of a one-hit wonder just because no one really knew. Well, people knew what Snorlax did, I guess, but they weren't expecting it. So I don't know. I don't want to like disregard the deck or like say it was bad or anything, because obviously we've just seen it do all right. But I feel like it had a surprise factor about it.
Yeah, definitely. That's not harsh to say.
No.
3, 6, 9, 12. We go to 15, or I just wipe my board with a Despair Ray. I think Despair Ray is better.
Yeah.
I'm impressed you can count that high.
Get out.
Yes.
If you want to
yes. Razak, like cards, is German.
If you want to make pancakes with extra meme sauce, you can play it with Electrike and Electrode instead of Regirock. Yeah, but Electrike dies to a Greninja snipe.
Do I try and live the dream of a Mega Turbo? I think I'm going to live the dream, boys.
Bandage made a pyramid, which is
Try
common.
to.
Complete the mirror.
So, how did you find this weekend, Joe?
What do you reckon, mate?
Luke gets
Travelled
in
a
there.
long way for no points, my friend. Travelled a long way.
Indeed. God, I was tired driving back.
You were actually like falling asleep at the wheel. I was scared for my life.
Oh dear. It was a long old lack of sleep that weekend.
Was it a good event though, Joe? Because I wasn't able to go, but I've always heard how Cov is not Cov. Norwich is a good place to play. So.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good fun. Good players, good people. I almost did the dream. No KO though. Missed an Energize. Shame.
Yeah, no, I've been to Norwich for quite a few tournaments now, and I always quite like playing there.
Yeah. I wanna. If they do, have they said about whether they're doing, like a League Cup every season if they can? I assume it will be.
They didn't say, but I think it's safe to
I think it
assume
can be
that
assumed.
it will be.
I'm gonna say I'd like to go to one if possible, even if it's only one. I'd like to try or go to Norwich to play, just because I've heard it's good. Does this run any STS Mega Guardian? Yeah, it runs a split. But in this matchup, the Brilliant Arrow is so much better because you actually have more consistent one-shot ability on Volcanions and Greninja breaks.
Greninja breaks.
I'm talking about.
What are you
I was
on
talking about. I was talking about this matchup, but then I went into why the
why we play it in
PTO
general.
was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. PRC. PCL.
What are you on about? Stop now.
You are there, mate.
I can't remember whether it's.
Words are hard. Yeah, Jack.
Is it PRC?
Generations.
No, that one's not Generations.
No. Private Clash.
Exactly. I only tuned in now.
I was trying to save you.
Yes, it will be on YouTube.
Someone's saying they're getting low frames on the stream.
Yeah, I'm laggy today. Let me see if I can get rid of.
Say I personally am, but I just assumed it was because I'm Skyping as well. So.
Welcome to the 21st century, folks.
I'll get rid of a couple of tabs and see if that helps out. I hope it does.
Do you think the addition of Garb helps it enough against Ninja? I'm also considering 2 elixirs, but what to take out? Wait a minute. Yeah, we can chat about Sir Pandage's list after this.
Yeah, no problem.
Joe can pop it up.
Pop it up.
And have a look at it whilst he plays.
Do I think the addition of Garb help it enough against Greninja? I'm also considering 2 elixirs, but I don't know what to take out. What's this in? Is this in?
This is in Pancakes.
Oh, Pancakes. Probably is. Probably is enough.
They're going to say
his list
at the moment
is clunk factor that I haven't seen yet.
Hmm.
You could start playing Evo Soda if you're playing Garb and Xerneas Break. I feel like you need a lot more ball search than just... What's his ball search count?
Let's have a look.
If it's just 4 Ultra, I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, he has only got 4 Ultra in here.
I think if you're playing Garb, you also need to make spaces for, like, 2 Evo Soda, maybe? Because you're constantly having to search out basically a stage 1 and then another stage 1 line. So it's similar to, like, Vespiquen, but without the draw engine.
Mm-hmm.
You're fitting a lot, though. Is he playing, like, 1 Regirock, 1 Snorlax, 1 Lugia, or something?
2 Regirock, 1 Snorlax, 2 Lugia.
That's really thick. I think you can thin that down, maybe. Just 1 Regirock, I think, is fine a lot of the time.
Jack says, are any of us, or is anyone going to Huddersfield LC? I guess us inclusive. I'm not, personally.
Don't even know when that is.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to much before Sun and Moon, to be fair, other than Sun and Moon pre-releases.
Yeah. I may be driving up the Coventry contingent to Stockton this weekend. Which is a bit of a trek, and I'm going to get my car, give it the once over before I go, because it's a long way, and last time was an interesting weekend.
Sketchy, I think is the word, Luke.
Oh, my battery's running low. Beedle.
How about teammates instead of 1 Regirock? I guess that searches out as well, but...
How have I not played Lysander? I've got 9 cards in deck, for goodness sake. Damn it, game.
Who needs Lysander, eh?
Me, right now.
Lies. Someone is typing frantically.
My bad. I have a really mechanical keyboard, like you can hear every single key.
Single keystroke.
Yeah, I've got another one somewhere, but that I haven't tried yet. But I'm updating my computery stuff in the summer, so I'm kind of just waiting until then because I'm not here very much at the moment. This is why you need 2 Lysander. I have been paying attention. Don't worry. I've got the 2 Lysander tick checklist of what you need in a good deck.
Might just play N here. He's lost one Volk. 3, 6, 9. Hex is safest. Let's just Hex. The only thing is we play into delinquent range.
Dun,
Indeed.
dun.
Do I play more cards down just to play out of N? I think I do. If I'm in delinquent range, I'm in delinquent range. There's nothing that changes
Yeah,
that.
I was going to say, I think you play the other two if you're in delinquent range, just because it's 20 damage.
Bop. 2 cards not off N.
Yeah, 2 cards not off N as well.
Oh dear, that's a benched Shaman. Oh no, it was a benched Baby Volk. Okay, that's fine. Lysandre. Counter Stadium? Or just KO? 1 prize KO? That doesn't sound that strong. Oh, shenanigans, he's gone and done it.
He's only
So now I
gone.
KO this Volk, I don't even need Hex to 1-hit KO the Dream. Let's play N.
What do we think the top 3 decks are right now?
Zygarde's definitely number 1.
Yeah.
I think Evital's still up there. I think a version of Mega Gardevoir. And one other. There's no real. Maybe after the last weekend, that weekend you'd have to put Mewtwo up there, but
I'd put Greninja there.
Yeah. I
Greninja
think I
has
put
to make my
Greninja
top
before.
3, I say.
I think Greninja's always consistently been doing well, not winning, but doing well to not consider it top 3 or 4.
Uh-huh.
it's a deck that never goes away. It's like Night March. Every time they print an anti card for it, something that gives it a bit of hate, they then go and give it something even better. Like we get now Choice Band, which just gives Greninja more life.
I hadn't even thought about it in Greninja. That's disgusting.
Potentially.
That means... Oh... That's so much damage.
It's like Silver Bangle, isn't it? But it can be attached to anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's EXs and GXs. Oh boy. When you guys were talking about Ninja earlier, you said Vest over Balloon. It not necessarily all the time. It depends on...
We were just saying maybe even 1 just over the flare grunt that he was playing.
Yeah. If you're cutting down your tool count to only 2 tools, then I think it's not worth the balloon, because I think you rarely hit them on the key turns, so you might as well just play a tool that acts more like a tool. But I think if you have space for 4 tools, I think balloon is still pretty good, because an extra 60 damage is so huge sometimes.
Yeah, we're not saying just cut balloon and play Vest. We're saying maybe a split of both isn't a bad idea when you're playing such high max potion.
Could you go through what your Greninja list would look like, maybe? I'm making it right now IRL. I'm not sure how to build it entirely.
I can show it off again quickly. I'll
You
have a
can
game
show
with it
it
if you
off,
want.
yeah. But won't Greninja get hurt by the enormous grass support in Sun and Moon?
Yes.
Yes, of course. But
Luke, let's play Pokemon.
it'll...
Okay.
I think Greninja, until it rotates, Greninja will always be... I think it will always be a pretty good deck. Any idea on what time the VOD would be? It'll be about 2. If you're looking at this time we show it off, I don't know what the first time we showed it off was just before we
I think it was
started
about
going.
40 minutes in, something like that would be a good estimate.
That was the first games with it. The first time you showed the list, though, it was just before we started talking about top
Oh, okay.
8,
So maybe like
and that
an
was
hour and 10.
that was about an hour and 15 minutes in.
Yeah.
So about an hour and 15 if you want to see the actual list, but it'll be 2 hours 20 if you want to see some Joe playing some games with it. Oh no, he's not playing it. Okay.
I want Luke to be playing Zygarde. Oh, for God's sake, Luke. I wanted to test Zygarde against this. No. No point.
And they showed a ninja last.
Luke,
earlier
test
this in the
Zygarde.
stream. Is the VOD going to be on YouTube also? Yeah, we try and upload the stream onto YouTube generally Thursday morning or evening. That's usually our Thursday video. Been loving your Sun and Moon content. I think we're loving making it. I've had so much fun with the new stuff, and I've got a few more decks to record before I go back to uni, so yeah. It's going to be a good set. It is a good set. And we just found out the pre-release promos as well.
I saw that got Oranguru, what his name is.
Oranguru, Persimmon, Shinotic, and Bruxish. So only one of them is bad. All the other three are pretty competitive cards.
It's always good.
I like that they're making the pre-release promos competitive now. Definitely gonna try the Decidueye deck. Yeah, I
Keep
really
them coming,
enjoy.
Joe. Keep them coming.
Have some cards, my friend.
It's good because there's no support in my opening hand.
Yeah, Persimmon's good.
There we go.
This looks like an
all sorts going on now.
Evoltal deck. Yes, it is. There's one right there. You'll get the bad one. Go to 2 pre-releases. The odds of getting 2 of the Bruxish pretty low, and if you do, then that's pretty sad. Your opinion on the best deck when Sun and Moon base set comes out? Are you talking? Are you talking?
Tauros.
Yeah. Are you talking new deck or?
Just best deck in format. I reckon
guess
it's going to be Yveltal Guard Tauros. That's my guess. Or Umbreon something. Or Persimmon.
Few options there.
I still think Yveltal Garb of Taurus is probably the best deck. It's slightly tweaking what we already know is currently the best deck, so.
To be able to deal with new threats and hit something really hard for a DCE.
Oh, poo.
I got 3 Chloritza at Steam Siege pre-releases. That's pretty sad.
That's sad. I got Clawitzer as well.
I didn't go to any Steam Siege ones.
Will Umbreon and Espeon work in the same deck? So I've got 2 builds of Umbreon right now. One is Umbreon with all the evolutions for type coverage, but not using Umbreon. No, Espeon, sorry.
What?
And my other build is Umbreon with Espeon and then just hammers using the Espeon for type coverage. So I think both is my answer.
Someone said Serena discard disruption. I think that deck could still be annoying, but I don't think it will be best deck in format.
Lots of garb, lots of stuffs.
Do we think Lurantis Plume will be the best? I think it'll be good.
I think it'll be one of the best, if not the
I don't
best.
think it'll be the best though. I think it'll be very good. And it's definitely, I think, probably one of the most hyped decks in my eyes out of Sun and Moon.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are 4 decks that I'm really looking forward to trying.
Go on.
Yeah. I think it's 4. Yeah. Lurantis Plume, I think, is up there. Decidueye is, of course, up there. I want to try Solgaleo Lunala, just because Soul Burst GX.
Oh, boys. Yeah, the EU memes. We're playing Town Map.
And then Persimmon.
Persimmon.
Do you think the Oranguru could be a decent budget replacement for Shaman? I think it's less so, even more than Octillery isn't, just because it only ever nets you 1 to 2 cards, and whilst it's sometimes a consistent 1 to 2 each turn, I think the reason why Shaman is good is because it's like a burst 4 to 5.
Yeah, they're
Unfortunately.
definitely... They have to be considered completely separately from one another.
Which is unfortunate because obviously Shaman is more expensive. But with the Roaring Skies rerun, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
On what?
The Roaring Skies reprint.
Ugh. Gross.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Why gross?
No, it's fine. It's absolutely fine.
None of us have
I
really
win.
been caught up in it, I don't think, because none of us were holding Shamans to sell.
No.
No.
Like, I have 4 Shaman, and if I pulled a 5th Shaman, I would just sell the 5th Shaman there, and then I wouldn't hold it. Do you think Shay will come down in price now? Yeah.
Yeah, it has to. It can't go up.
Well, it won't go up. I guess people will potentially say it'll stay the same, but I think it'll definitely go down. It won't be. It'll still be expensive, but it won't be like. What is it about six? What is it now? About 60 quid.
Is it? I'm a millionaire.
Super Rod.
Rodney.
So should you definitely wait if you want to buy a couple? Yeah, I think if you want to buy Shamans, then it's worth waiting just because it's almost certain they'll go down in price. It is player friendly and it gives shameless spectators what they deserve.
Shameless. Matt Slats is saying, I wonder if Juventus is going to win this matchup. It's actually one that we're testing because we don't know. The Zygarde deck does have 3 Galvantula, so that's actually pretty lame.
Lol.
But that's also pretty lame.
Beetle. That's just ruin my game plan. Power memory.
Bye,
rip.
power memory. And we just won the game.
Oh, I've just seen it on stream. Kaplam. Use some of the emoticons, Luke. Use an angry emoticon because you're angry at him.
That's not ideal. Top deck shaming.
Let's see Scumbag Luke in action. Oh, he's not rage quit. Oh, okay.
Oh, man, I literally can't do anything.
Welcome to Delinquent.
This is no Joe Lucas. I bet you top deck that.
I did.
Oh, don't tell me. Don't do that. Oh,
I did. Yeah.
my hand was so good.
So Pandage got it right. You need to give him the emote, or what are they called? Yeah, the emote that says you have a good deck, and just
It doesn't.
spam him with that until he leaves.
It doesn't have the option.
Oh no, because you're friends, aren't you? Oh, you can
Yeah.
just be rude then. Tell him he has a bad deck.
Oh, I don't know what I can do here.
Classic Joe draws.
Get good. Cheers. I can't even knock you out with the basic energy.
Where?
Tap him. Oh, there's nothing. There's no stadium.
Luke.
Uh,
You are not prepared.
References.
hey.
Cool. It's better than just not having a game.
Wow, I missed energy. Wow.
Damn it, delinquent.
That's incredible.
Let me get a stadium.
Don't want one, mate. You can get delinquented again.
It's the opposite of what you're on right now.
I'm just going to keep going.
Oh no, my poker puffs.
Well, it keeps your shaming on the board, so. And I'm letting you know for a fact that you have to end me. Because I'll be taking Lysander. How does no one here know about the 20-20-20 ratio? Then you won't miss energy. You're back in the game.
He's
what?
alive.
You're part grass, Luke. You're part grass. I planned it all out.
Of course you did.
I don't even know what that laugh is. So stupid. Okay. Bye, Luke.
Okay.
Jack, do you want to have a game?
After that, yeah, sure. Oh, okay. I'm on that. Let me reload. 'Cause
Oh, okay.
I was stuck on 81%.
Well, Luke, we learnt lots.
Yeah,
Delinquent's a card.
it is indeed.
I think that's my first ever delinquent to zero. I honestly rarely ever play that card. But it makes
fact
you
that
feel so powerful. It's not the fact that I top decked it though, it's the fact that you didn't play around it, you scummer.
You only had like a 4-card hand, I believe.
It was at least 6.
Nah,
It was 6.
nah.
It was 6.
No, it
Uh-oh,
wasn't.
Nitish is playing. I'm pretty sure it's Benji, but we'll have a game. Quickly.
Yeah, I'm not. Oh, yeah, okay, I'm in anyway.
Looks
But
like you picked Mewtwo, and I picked Guardy.
Beetle.
Just saying. Let's see how this goes.
I like that comment from SPG Tentacle Monster. He says he's watched lots of videos and streams and people lose due to not having energy And their solution seems to be add more trainers. Oh dear, I like that. It's true sometimes. Did beat it in top 4, but it was very luckily.
That's why I'm keeping quiet for now. Not saying anything, guys. This is a legitimate, difficult matchup. Where either player could win. 100%. Stream's kind of choppy. I think I'm just having a bad internet day, unfortunately.
Joe and his rubbish internet. Sort it out.
You can hold this hand.
Interesting. So, what type did his deck say? Was it just psychic colourless?
Yes. Benji's playing a Hex and a Trubbish. This could well be Eagle's list. Who knows?
Yeah, so just making Mewtwo.
Yep. Looks
Should
like
be
it.
interesting.
Haven't prized any of my psychic megas, so should be fine. We'll see. We'll see.
Looks like it could be End Wars.
Looks like it.
Oh, if only you had energy.
Yeah.
Dombro, thank you very much for tuning in. I really want to try out Marowak Break. Well, I'm not in a game at the moment, TSE, so if you want a game, you're more than welcome to challenge me.
Good night, Dombro.
Marowak Break. Interesting. That was a card that I thought had potential and never hit anywhere near the heights.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember. Is it 20 plus 40 for each prize they've taken or you've taken?
They've
taken.
Okay.
I mean, we don't have Robo Sub anymore. It's probably like Marowak Wob
Yeah.
or something.
My in-game name is Team OmniPoke, TSE.
Well, we're chilling. We're both just chilling.
Who's going to make the first move?
Who gets the first Lysander?
I'll just put it in the chat, TSE, if you want to add that. There you go.
Oh, I got the first Lysander, but I can't move. Me active. Oh, I wish N was a Sycamore so bad right now. I want to keep that Lysander in the discard. I don't think I ever mega this guy. Pretty sure I don't. Okay.
This is a very
This is so
cagey
funny.
match.
This is so funny. Uh,
Oh, I've done it again, Joe. I've prized 2 Guard of Wars.
get good.
How do I win this game?
It's all going down. We're going to see some movement.
Maybe. Okay, we're going to see some movement, boys.
Apologies to all the females watching the stream. That Joe
And
keeps
girls.
referring to you as a boy.
Brilliant.
Imagine if you clicked on the wrong attack. Did 20 damage or something. Oh dear.
Oops.
He needs another energy on there to even kill that, and then he just dies.
Just gets bopped. I think because I was first in the race, I don't think I ever lose this now. Unless shenanigans happen.
How many? I don't want to say. I do see a win condition for him. But...
Yeah. Don't tell him, don't tell him. I know what you're thinking as well. I'm thinking about it as well. Let's thin. Shall I have no weakness next turn? That would be quite fun. Let's go. Alternatively, I could choose to not take that prize and just sort of wait longer. It's
I know what I'd do. Sure.
What, this turn?
Yeah. Well, obviously, you're a little bit ahead of us. I'll say afterwards.
For me?
So then, yeah.
You would go for Despair Ray.
Yeah, whilst manually retreating.
Manually?
Yeah.
I had Fairy Garden in hand.
Yeah.
You're crazy, man. Okay, he's spotted conditions.
That's why I would have manually retreated. So then you can put super rod energy back into your deck.
I still can.
Is there any in there?
3. Now.
I
there
don't know.
was one in there. At the time you were watching. I still have rope, and I still have guns.
Fair. I don't know your counts. I don't know exactly what's what, so I'm just sort of going
Yeah,
off.
I played 2 rope, and I just top deck Skylar like a boss.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I should have Despair Raid without... I think I still put Garden in, but I think I just Despair Ray off these dudes. I don't see why you wouldn't just do the Garden.
I thought you had no energy in this guy. I wasn't sure how many you played.
Oh, okay. Well, this went as it should do.
Yeah, it's one of those. If you get the first attack off, then he's always very much in the passenger seat.
He's going down fighting. Fair play. Oh, I didn't have time to respond. Poor Benji. Right, what time is it? It is 11, so I think we should do our metagame thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay, do I need to set this up at all? Actually, I do need to go to the toilet quickly, so talk amongst yourselves while I just have a pee. Back in 2 minutes.
Okay.
He's like a teacher. Talk among yourselves. Oh, what am I doing here? 190, 230 down to 120. He can't ever one-shot me, can he?
I don't know, can he?
I think I'm safe just despairing. Because then I can reload next. No, I can't. Well, yeah, I can maybe. Okay.
He didn't mute himself. Joe. Is he moving that bookcase again?
Okay, I'm back.
Is
Right.
Look who it is.
Okay, let's flip over to monitor capture. Oh, that was seamless. Brilliant. Okay, so this is a metagame matrix for those people who don't know. Basically, it's based on your own testing and your own theory, where you write down popular decks and their matchups against the other popular decks. So, in this instance, I'll talk over a few things first of all. So I've put a little tally here for all the decks making top 32 in North American and European regionals, and also London Intercontinentals for this format in Standard. Okay, so I've not weighted, unlike from things like the Charizard Lounge, where they weight based on points. Like, Yveltal gets more points for coming first than it would be just making a top 32. Here I've just done pure decks that have made top 32. And these are all the ones that have made top 32 at least once. And our Metagame Matrix is based on just the ones from Jolteon Garb upwards. So decks with 4 or more placements in top 32 in the last few regionals. So it's it's Dallas, it's Fort Wayne, London, Dortmund, and I think that's it, because Liverpool was pre-evolutions. I think it's just those. So you can see Yveltal Garb heavily at the top. So I've made a top 6 based on ones that have made, a higher amount than the other block. These are all a similar range, 5 and 4. So I've made a top 6 decks here, and then we've gone ahead and gone from left to right, thinking about, okay, if I'm playing Yveltal Garbodor, we expect to beat Greninja 55% of the time. 55% would beat Volk, 60% would beat Mewtwo, etc, etc. These are all our own assumptions and our own playtesting, so you don't have to agree with all of these things, but we're just showing this off as maybe a reference for your own testing. Maybe it's an exercise that you've never conducted before, and maybe it's one that you think about conducting in future to help you make a metagame call, potentially, of a certain deck. You can run your own meta rogue deck, and then go through the gauntlet, and say what your rogue would do against the expected meta, for example. And this is just the baseline. This is where the points that you get is always out of 100%, basically. And you read it from left to right. But there's also things you can do, and things that we usually do is we weight. We weight these results based on how popular they are. So I'm just breezing past this, not getting phased. So for example, the top 6 decks are the ones you expect to face probably at least twice in a day 1 of Swiss. Or you could expect to face at least one of these, probably 2 minimum, okay? So we would say put a ×2 multiplier on each of these top 6 decks to make it weight more towards these decks, because there's no point in having really good Vespiquen and Jolteon matchups if you don't have good Yveltal and Greninja, for example. So you can estimate your deck's win rate against all these different decks. You can think about techs to improve matchups. It's a useful exercise for a lot of different reasons. So before we jump into the graph itself, there's a few assumptions that we've got going forward with each of these lists. We're assuming that the Yveltal Garb list is playing at least one Fright Knight, because I think one is fairly standard, and it's still playing Flagrant and Hammers, and these sorts of assumptions will help define why we've made decisions with these percentages. Greninjas, we're assuming at the moment non-Talon build, with 3 or 4 Silent Labs, 2 Max Potions, 2 E-Hammers, no Jirachi promo, because basically this is what I would personally play, or what our team is thinking of playing. So then we've got Volk. We just think it's a standard list, no tech Pokemon. Not going to play Flareon or Salamence. Playing Ranger, Ropes. Parallel City is the one that we've said that we'll play, because that's the most frequent build of Volcanion because of London. Personally, I'd never play Parallel, but still. Mewtwo is Damage Change with 2/2 Garb. Mega Guardy is the Steam Siege build with at least 2 Fairy Drops, and it's heavy Dragonite Hooper Shaman. So at the moment we're making the assumption that Guardy lists will be heavily hurt by Garb, Hex, Silent Lab, these sorts of things. Rainbow Road, we're assuming it's playing 2/2 Galvantula, and that we're playing 1 Break Evolution. Mega Guardy, we're just saying Magearna, Dragonite, no puzzles, so a fairly simple build. I don't actually know the best way to play Ray right now. This is a deck that I've not given much time. And when I was writing out Ray, I was like, what does Ray even play these days? Is it a water build? Is it a Jolteon build? I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
What do you what is the best Ray build right now?
Yeah.
I think with all the Yveltal around it and Parallel stuff, I think a fairy version maybe.
Yeah, fairy version isn't a bad idea either.
But I've
But
not
with
played
Guardy,
it for a long time.
with Guardy picking up, I guess you've still, if you want to play Metal, you've got like that inbuilt extra win condition if you just whiff, like Ray does sometimes.
I think you're better off just going pure Ray against the Guardy build. Anyway.
Yeah, I guess.
But McGinnis there for like Scizor and Jirachi promo and stuff. Who knows? Raticate. Okay. Tina Garb, we're thinking it's heavy hammers. No metal energy, so not my list. But yeah. Plume Box. This is the hardest deck to evaluate. I'll just go into saying that now. If you start looking at percentages, look at Plume Box's line, and it's very high in some of these instances. But when you're analysing Plume Box, you have to almost think of the worst case scenario. And that how hard is it for decks to come back from a turn 1 item lock a lot of the time? And how hard is it for them to get over just 1 Jolteon or just 1 Glaceon, these sorts of things. So Plume Box is the one that's mainly skewed, and this is a really hard one to evaluate. I almost want to minus lots of points from Plume Box because I think it's no higher than 60% of the time that it gets the turn 1 Plume, and even then you can whiff lots of things, like you whiff energy here and there, and you just lose the game off of it. So Plume Box is the hardest one to evaluate. Keep that in mind when we go through this graph. Vespi builds is going to be Zebra's Garb, Unknown, and Klefki. And Jolteon Garb is going to be lots of energy denial and max potions with Pidgeot. That's all of our assumptions going in. I need a breather. Someone else talk for a bit.
It's really hard to see it on the screen. That's the problem.
Oh, bugger. Okay, let me...
If you just zoom on Excel.
Yeah. Is that better? Has that worked?
There's a delay, isn't there? I'll tell you in a second. Ah, yes. Much, much better.
Okay.
Cool.
Right. So, again, bear in mind that this is our own playtesting and opinion. So, these aren't set in stone. This is just what we're putting in. But even if it's not 100% accurate, this is a useful exercise a lot of the time for saying, you know what text can I do to beat X deck? For example, if we take one deck, let's look at Mega Mewtwo. We come over, it's got near enough 50-50s against the lot. And then you see Mega Gardy, and you're like, damn, I could have decent to good matchups against all the top 6 decks here, but my Gardevoir's awful. Let's try playing a Metal build of Mewtwo and see how that affects the other matchups, if percentages drop or increase, and if I can actually move this from a 20 to a 50%, for example. So by doing this, you can just start thinking about techs, or you can start thinking, you know what, I want to play the normal build but just dodge Gardy if I'm thinking I'm going into a tournament with not many Gardevoir. So, yeah, let's have a look, I guess. I don't think... Should we go over one by one, or should we just... I don't know what really is the best thing to do.
I don't think you need to go in massive detail on it. I think
No.
if you just sort of breeze over what sort of the key ones and why, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because obviously there's a lot to take in, and you don't want to overwhelm everyone.
Yeah. So personally, I don't think this is the top decks right now. Despite it being statistically the best decks, if we go back to here, we've had League Cups, and just the format has progressed, and there's been chatter of certain decks, like Warlord. There's Gyarados. There's a couple other rogues right now. There's Houndoom Bunnelby, which somehow loads of people love. There's a few decks right now that people just will play, even though it hasn't had the previous results. So maybe these are things that you want to add to your own list if you're going to start doing this process. But really, I just want to say how useful of a process this can be.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing.
That's the main thing to take home from it. Not that you normally necessarily have to be like, oh, how does Jolteon Garb lose 35% of win 35% of the time against Gardy? You shouldn't really focus on these things. We just want to say that it's really useful for picking out where to improve points, or where to just take your sack, pick your moments with a certain deck, or how you can tweak things to make it any better. And again, I'll go back to the point where oftentimes it's best to weight your research towards the top tier decks. Normally I do a ×2 multiplication of each of these, because it's a very simple way. You could do a 0.75, you could do a ×3 if you're thinking I'll play 1 or 0 of the bottom decks and 2 to 3 of each of the others. It depends how narrow and wide a metagame is. This is one season where the format has been really wide, for a long time. The whole year it's been a wide format, which makes it difficult to do something like this, because you're trying to cover for so many matchups, and guess what? On the day you may not face any Ray, Tina Garb, or Plumebox, but you may have chosen not to play this deck because it's got 2 of these bad matchups. I don't even know what deck this is.
Yeah.
Vespi builds. So it's one of these things that you don't have to go completely by the book on, but it also can help you out in testing. You can start going ahead and doing totals as well. I've done this quickly. So looking at the total score, the more your total score, the better, basically. So for the top 6 decks in format right now, the quote-unquote best placed is either Gardy or Volk against the field, which is interesting, I think.
Yeah.
Overall, the best is Tina Garb, which is interesting. But again, if we go back to the start, that's because it's not been weighted very well, and Tina Garb has a bad Yveltal and Greninja, hence it's not doing well. So it can destroy and completely wreck Ray, Plume, Vespi, but those aren't the decks you're going to face all day. So maybe if we start weighting it and multiplying, Tina Garb gets worse. For example, when you see it against it's actually still... No, where is it? Yeah, it's not the highest when you look at just against the top 6. So, but yeah, and then if you're looking at just beating the top 6 decks, the best meta call if you're wanting to play one of the best decks in format, it's either, again, Guardi or Yveltal Garb right now, based on these decks at the very least.
Yeah.
And if you're going Rogue, it would be Plumebox, but I personally discount Plumebox by like 50 points because it does, it just doesn't work a lot of the time. Tina Garb, if you're expecting it to be wide meta, Tina Garb's still a good play because you can just clean up on some of these DC Stage 1 decks like Gyarados and Vespiquen. So it's interesting, on paper at least, to start thinking about these things.
It's a useful process. I mean, there's a lot of times as well where you're torn between 2, maybe even 3 decks that you want to play. You test them all, you're not quite sure, and then to have something like this as a reference point to see where it stands based on recent metas, it can sometimes help sway your decision for you, and make sure that you are also taking into consideration previous tournaments, not just what you may face on the day.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're thinking of making one of these, it's super easy to do. You simply start thinking about the decks that you want to metagame, or like you think are in the metagame, maybe looking at past results, or just your local meta, etc, etc. You can just start putting in your own categories, and from your own testing you can start filling in the gaps, or if you don't have time to test, you can theory, you can look at other people's articles and look at their experiences or their opinions on matchups. Obviously the more testing you do, the better it will be, because you actually have stats to go off of rather than just your own opinion. But if you always black out the mirror unless you're specifically teching for the mirror, for example, when we were preparing for London, me and Jack were thinking of playing a Yveltal list that played assault vests, and in that regard we actually turned our mirror into a 65, and because we thought that Yveltal was one of the bigger decks, we thought it was really relevant to have that stat in there rather than just 50-50. So if you're trying to tech for mirror, you can try and unblack these out and actually have them as relevant stats, but have the baseline as 50-50, so it doesn't skew your results. But yeah, it's a super simple exercise to do. You can discuss it with friends, you can do it on your own, whatever you like, and this is something I've been doing for over a year now, and I've made deck decisions solely based on this. Sometimes I've strayed away from certain decks, I've started looking more carefully at certain decks. For example, at the start of the season, I hated Volcanion, absolutely hated Volk. And then when I kept doing these charts, I kept seeing it was getting towards the middle ground or higher. And I was like, well, yeah, it's always in reach of beating stuff. Turns out now I don't like Volk again after playing it, but at least it got me playing it a lot, and it opens up options, and it makes you see a little bit more clearly sometimes about why people are playing certain decks, why decks did well at times. You can look at previous tournaments and see why decks sort of broke through and got to top 8 or even higher, and it can also help you out in the future. So this is hopefully an entertaining thing. I don't know if many people do this, and if so, how accurately or how frequently they do it. But this is something that I like to do, before big tournaments, definitely. Before regionals and intercontinentals, I've been doing this the whole time. And it has helped me, in my opinion, educate my own decisions. So yeah, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. Is there much going on in the chat, Jack? Have you seen much?
People are just... nothing major. People are just talking about what you've been talking about, really.
Okay, cool. So I think that's enough time spent on that. Good half hour.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a useful exercise. Maybe if you guys liked it, we can reference these more often going towards big events. For me, right now, where I'm sat going to Leipzig this weekend, I'm quite liking Guardi. You've seen me play a lot of Guardi today. Greninja and Rainbow Road are the two quote-unquote bad matchups in the top 6 decks, And by playing the Primal Clash build, I think I can increase that Greninja to at least 50-50. Rainbow Force is then only the bad matchup of the top 6 decks, and I'm quite happy to take that. The Volcanion being slightly unfavoured, but again, the Primal Clash pushes that to at least 50-50. If I can time a Hex nicely, I think I can be good there. So, for me, right now, that's what I'm liking. So, don't all come playing Sizzle. Sizzle's not on this list. And spoilers, it doesn't have a good Greninja or Volcanion. And if you're trying to play Tina promo with Greninja to beat Greninja, it doesn't work enough because there's loads of max potions that Ninja plays. So don't play Sizzle, guys, even if you want to counter me. Please. Okay, we're back.
Complexity asks, why do you consider Yveltal a bad matchup for Mewtwo?
At the moment, just because Fright Knight, E-Hammers, we're assuming that they play 2 E-Hammer, Grunt, and at least 1 Fright Knight still. So I still consider that to be a fairly awkward matchup. It just feels like Mewtwo's always the one scrabbling for more to do than Yveltal, because Yveltal can be more efficient with its attacks. It's all basic. Mewtwo can clunk out more often. That's where I sit personally. But I know that Mewtwo can obviously do well as well.
Yes, it's just an interesting one. There's a right or wrong answer as such. It's in down to play styles and lists, but I think, especially if people after last weekend are going to put more Fright Nights back in response to more Megas, it gets even worse.
Yeah,
it's so weird. It's one of the most consistently changing metas we've had in a long time, I think. Like, literally, you can really see the change week on week. There's some times where, okay, there is a change week on week, but you'll always have a deck or a series of decks that is, like, doing well. But literally, each week, that it's just focused on what was good last week and stuff like that. And I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, it's changing really quick at the moment. Rock, paper, scissors-ish.
I've just seen you've challenged me, Joe.
It's exciting and scary at the same time for people trying to go to a tournament and make that meta cool. I think if you can't make a good meta cool, I think I'd just play Ninja. Personally.
Oh boy.
Ninja is solidly throughout my 2 or 3 weeks of testing, Ninja's been my solid number 2 place deck if I can't find anything that convinces me otherwise. And so far, I've always not pulled the trigger on Greninja.
Always gone for something else.
I've always gone for that other option. Yeah. But that's just me, and some people swear by Ninja, so...
Not with hands like this. They don't. Can we get a Greninja game before we finish? There's one...
Right now.
There's one right now. And this list isn't teched as well as it used to be for Yveltal Garb. So... Here we go.
Here we bloody... Player Selgor combined with Eevees. No.
Oh man, that means I need to think of an expanded deck. I think if I go this weekend and I can build a good list in time, I will play Weave Our Legs.
Ooh. Don't worry, you won't find a good list in time.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
I might message Blast from the Past Tommy Roberts. He played that deck a lot. He was in standard, so yeah.
What a hero Tommy is.
He did quite well with that. I think he topped 32 ECC with it.
That's jokes.
I don't particularly like expanded. Although I can get a Tina promo, it means you don't have to worry as much about Trevenant, which is nice.
That is nice.
Do you not like Beedrill anymore? I've been running it, but the only thing I don't like is that it slows you down as well as being one retreat cost. Me and Joe are testing out a different list at the moment, which doesn't have Beedrill and doesn't have Rough Seas based on what's been doing well elsewhere. But if we get back to a Yveltal Garb metagame, then I think this goes back to being, well, playing Beedrill and potentially Rough Seas if Giratina promo isn't as popular as people assume.
I should have run it before the parallel beetle.
Beetle.
We've barely beetled at all today.
We haven't. It's been a beetle-free stream.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
There's still 25 minutes left. And this hand is a Beedle. I'll tell you that for absolutely nothing. Are you serious?
Jack really
Not a bad
likes
start.
Rainbow Road as a deck, but yeah, he's saying it can run out of steam and it just can't always draw well, which is why it's sort of fallen off the map a little bit.
Yeah, the amount of Garb and parallel that started to creep in makes it, even though you have resistance against either tool, it's still difficult. It's not going well.
Nope. Oh, crikey.
Yuck.
Don't kill me.
It's at that moment where he said, "Scoop to game 2."
This is why I would perhaps disagree with you in saying, if you don't know what to play, play Greninja.
True. There's more Garb, so that's a worry. As in, Mewtwo often plays Garb, so you have to play against a lot of Garbodor.
You do indeed.
What's this hand like? Can I do anything with this hand? Is it worth doing anything with this hand?
Are Max Elixir standard in Rainbow Road? Yes, they are. I would still play at least one EXP share, but I'd play. I would definitely play Elixir. I'd play both because the fizzle happens a lot less if you play both. We can get another game in because that was so Greninja.
There's Greninja things.
Yeah. Sometimes it's good, I promise.
Debatable.
What would I play in Athens? What is Athens standard or expanded? That's the big question. Luke, are you alive?
I am indeed. Oh no, it's challenging me.
Yeah.
No, I closed it down when we were looking at the spreadsheet. Sorry.
That's fine.
I don't understand why it's still saying I'm online. Because it normally logs you out, doesn't it?
Luke, Jack, don't play Ninja. I'm playing Ninja.
Okay.
Play Guardy Steam Siege. If you have it built.
You were so close to me not playing it. You just got there in time.
Almost Greninja mirror.
In before Greninja.
What the masses want.
In before the next hour being shadow stitching pass. Neither of us play Ranger anymore as well.
Max
So it's
potion
just-
value.
It's just max potion and hope you have one more card than your opponent. That's literally what what the game is.
Unless someone's been crazy and played Brock. One time Brock G4.
Athens is standard. I got second at 2 League Cups and Dallas Regionals with Mega Guardi PCR, PRC, with Dragons and Zern.
Dragons and Xerneas. Well, I don't mind Guardi at all. I think Dragons aren't that great right now. I think I just play a pure Guardi Xerneas build, similar to the one I've been playing a lot this evening.
Why can I not draw cards?
Nice little song there.
I believe I can live.
You are a believer. Can I punish? I'm pretty sure there's no way I can punish this anyway. Other than N and pray.
And pray.
Oh my goodness me.
Doesn't look like it's going well for you.
Beetlemon! Got end out of the dream and into this. Greninja! Oh, screw it, I'm back to Talonflame. Where? Big old where from me.
I mean, you're not dead. But
My hand is.
That end.
Why Starmie? It's just what our teammates like to play, and I'm testing based off of their extensive testing. So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. But yes, boys, Talonflame. Don't tell them. Don't tell the teammates I'm playing Talonflame in future. Screw Bert.
What does he know? He's only got his top 8 in Wales.
Yeah, he doesn't know Ninja like you guys do. He doesn't know
No.
Ninja like Twitch stream. Space Bacon's back, guys.
That's why he's playing it.
That was the original meme.
Just so he can.
That was
Space Bacon
pre-Shauna.
Shauna.
Space Bacon
Space
was
Bacon.
pre-Shauna.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
we
was.
top deck like a pro. Absolute pro. Protein shake. Typically, Guardi's way out here is rope, so I'm not going to balloon here. Top deck like a Joe. Almost as good as Delinquent. Actually, way better than Delinquent. Oh, the dream. Maybe I should play Greninja. Twitch stream
think you
always
should-
makes it to the finals. That's true.
I think you should play Greninja.
Get out.
That hate.
It's a good deck.
Do we think Starmie has much use? Well, the mentality around Starmie is that Staryu's a great lead, okay? Because it's free retreat. And Starmie means that you're more able to end people because you don't have to worry about, I need to draw into my water energy as well. So, whenever you have your abilities, you're always cashing in on them. That's the mentality. Which I don't mind, but there is still a lot of garb. I think if I was going to Leipzig, I probably wouldn't play Starmie. And looking at Dallas and previous results, I think Talon might well be the way to go, despite the hate from Jack specifically. Apparently. So
No,
yeah.
I think it's fine. I think it's literally just a personal preference.
Yeah.
I personally don't like it. But...
Oh, did you prize a Hooper, Jack? Oh no, you just got one. I was well chuffed. Thought I was alive. Nah,
Shut your jibber jabber.
never alive.
Never alive. Energy Turbo.
This is why we play 3 turbos.
Oh my goodness me.
Is that good? Oh my goodness.
No.
Is that the 7 energy sadness that I'm seeing right there?
Oh, it's a 7 energy sadness. It's a 7 energy sadness special.
Oh boy. Sadness special. Oh baby, Starmie's online.
Starmie is good to go.
Stitch? Yeah, Jack still has to dig this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Damage is damage? Moonlight Slash is good. Splash Energy is still good.
Maths.
6, 12, 8. Slash, no pickup. That's my answer.
The middle ground. Right, well, for a start, this is happening. Get out of here, bursting balloon.
What's happening? Rope. Starmie, my boy. Starboy.
What's the chat saying? Talon 2 good, 130 HP. Early attacker that does 40 and prevents bricking. Yes, please. Yeah, but you don't always start with it.
Yeah, when you don't lead, like that's what the haters will always say.
Don't call me a hater.
The 50-50. The deck is.
And you get a full deck search to find out how many frogs are prized. Yeah, but that it doesn't
can't
matter how
you
many
can't
frogs are
affect
prized.
it
But
when-
you don't.
Yeah.
You're always turn 2, or you're always duplicating anyway. So it doesn't matter how many are prized. You have to do that. So I don't think that's a selling point, but I understand why it's being said. Are you serious? Oh.
7 energy hype.
Apparently not free Mega Turbo hype either.
Yeah, straw poll. Should we straw poll it?
And now we wait.
Can someone be bothered to straw poll
Yeah,
it?
might as well. I'll get one up. Straw poll. Instant real-time polls. Add in more trainers. Yes, exactly.
More trainers is always the solution.
Talon or no Talon? Talon. No Talon.
Ooh. Duck Productions. Utame Duck Productions, thanks for the follow.
I feel I'm going to definitely be outdone here. It's going to be like 10-1. There's a straw poll in the chat, guys, for you to
Shall I
participate.
participate as well? No, I'll leave it to them.
I have.
Oh,
Get involved.
get your one vote in while you can.
Exactly. Oh god, it started with 3 Talons. It's just now like evening out.
We
Can we vote multiple times? You cannot. I have. It let me do the IP thing, so you're not. You're not just voting for Talon lots.
3,000 for Talonflame, 1 for non-Talonflame.
Oh, there's just 40 people in the stream. How has this happened? Everyone randomly found a straw poll. Okay, it's still pretty even. You'd have to leave the chat. You can
Don't do
tell me, I guess, and I'll just add one to the vote.
Sure he will. As long as it's his vote.
I mean, I'll just add one to the non-talent vote. But if it's the talent one, then tough.
Then I didn't hear you. Yeah. You spelt non-talent wrong if you just wrote talent.
Right, guys.
Uh-oh. This is what
That doesn't sound like a positive uh-oh.
the fairy drop stabilization, as opposed to all those positive uh-ohs that you hear.
Yep.
Uh-oh! You're
Who's
dead!
only gone and helped me?
Vote for Smokin' Bird. Oh dear, I'm tired. You probably couldn't tell with that huge yawn, but I'm tired.
So many obvious comments tonight. What do I want to do here?
So many obvious comments like you should play Talonflame and Greninja.
Triggered.
What would be interesting to see, I don't think you can do it on here, is also put up on there whether EU or North America. See if there's a clear preference in one region.
You're playing with fire, Luke Kirkham.
That's how I roll.
That's just which
Not
nations
on our
are
streams,
watching.
you know.
That's all it is.
That's how he rolls. He says on not his channel. Start the fire on someone else's channel.
Yeah.
What do I want to get rid of here?
All of them.
Even the Garda, yeah?
All of them. It's got damage on it. It's a liability.
You're a liability.
Savage. You see what I have to put up with? This abusive relationship.
Oh, look at the promise. What time do you usually stream on Wednesday? We stream from 8:15 GMT to midnight GMT, or whenever we finish, but around midnight GMT.
Yeah, give or take.
Tommy Mac 23, you've been very active all day, and thanks for the follow, finishing off the stream. That is awesome. Thanks for that.
There's a clear preference.
Well then, that settles it. Forever, Jack. As long as it's Talonflame.
I'm gonna say I didn't say which the preference was. yes, it does settle it.
Oh dear, really?
I don't know. We'll let some more votes come in.
Yeah.
Oh, that means
We've got time, right?
it's the vote closes when Jack's ahead.
Exactly. It's the idea of voting, isn't it?
13-6.
When someone followed us, they got invited to look at Muslim singles as a bonus.
Okay.
Sponsored by OmniPoke. No, they're not. Swag Muffins, I'm not ignoring you. How's it going, mate? You popped in late.
He's ignoring you.
Oh. He's ignoring me. Well, that's just rude.
Oh, okay.
It's on. Wait, what? Why don't you recycle Dragonite?
Because I still have one in there, don't I?
But you can't Dragonite for Dragonite.
Oh, that's a point.
You crazy, man. You crazy.
Yeah, okay. Dragonite's probably better. Fine. this time.
I think I'm going to Silent Lab Shadow Stitch you this turn.
Oh boy.
Just to make sure.
Just to you know. Make sure.
Skyfield Ranger that I don't play.
I actually saw a Guardy playing Ranger, and I was like, whoa there, friend. You might need to slow down.
Crazy.
Hold your horses.
Scared of the Regice Glaceon Silent Lab
Nice.
Shadow Stitch.
Scared of Stitch.
Comp.
Yeah. We meant to vote on those two. I don't know, man. I didn't see the site. Oh, it's so over.
It is.
Bacon!
Space bacon!
Bacon boys.
Ugh. We might actually finish on time for once.
Even though I played Greninja in the last game. Shocker. All my schemes.
Should have played the mirror.
Well,
Definitely not finishing on time then.
This has been pretty good for the Ninja boys. Oh, look at that. Look at that lovely shadow stitching HP that you have remaining there. 3 breaks. People are looking at this board state like they've never seen Greninja like this ever.
This happens sometimes.
It's so golden. What is happening? Space bacon for game.
Space bacon.
Well, I don't think Carnival's winning from there. Safe to say.
The double hoop is an interesting approach from Jack, I'll admit.
It's one we haven't personally seen before, but
See ya! I lost 1 prize as a Greninja player. That's got to be some sort of record.
give this man a medal.
Give this man a Talonflame. Right. With that outstanding win, all thanks to Starmie, let's take Starmie out of the list. Where else are my cuts? Oh, Level and Evo Sodas have to become Ultra Balls, so that's 1. There we go, we did it. Talon.
Did it.
Talon Bird.
I traded my Greninja away for a Salamence EX to do a bad thing based on that.
That means we had Fisherman? Yeah. That is what it means. 1 Super Rod. All the cool kids play 1 Super Rod.
Shut up.
Now I'll go to 3 balloons.
If you can draw like that, then I think that's the play this weekend, mate.
Shut up.
That's a big if, but
Yeah, I'm gonna say if you can draw like that, then you've got a regionals win in the bag.
Yeah. You also have to draw like that. All my opponents
And-
have to draw like that.
And attend.
And yeah.
I'm gonna say you're not gonna face me all around, and you're definitely not gonna face me at all. So
Interesting. So is that the list that we're liking if we play Talon then?
not me,
Yeah.
but
yeah,
apparently so.
not
I'm saying
really
if you play Talon, is this the build that you like the look of?
Right, okay.
Or do you think Beedrill double Lysander is still sick?
Beetle.
I do like Beedrill. I think it gives you more of an out against Mewtwo. Otherwise,
Yeah,
I
that's
just
true.
don't think you can win that matchup consistently.
Okay.
Yeah, Beedrill was useful. Beedrill was useful in that in London. To be fair,
Okay.
that was my 1 win.
Where do I cut then? Do I go to 1 E-Hammer? I can't remember his cuts. I think he played 3N, but that scares me so much.
I think if you're
With an
playing
ace trainer.
Ace Trainer, yeah.
Yeah, with an ace trainer, I
I
think you
think
can cut
3
it out.
end's fine.
3 splash seems high. Maybe.
See you later, Swagmuffin. It's nice to see you again.
2 and 7. I guess 2 and 7's fine if I'm playing 2 rod. I don't dislike that. So we go second Lysander, max, not max potion, B drill. Okay, that might be where I test in future, but for now, we are slap bang out of time, so we'll have to leave it there, boys. Thanks for today. It was a good stream, I think.
Yes.
Jam
Thank you very
packed
much
full of
for
stuff.
joining.
Thanks, everyone.
I'm fairly happy with the testing that we did. Zygarde lost to Yveltal, Luke, so you're out. Greninja drew well, so maybe I'll be tempted in the next couple of days to play that.
You should. I think you should play Greninja for a big tournament.
No, I need points, Jack.
Come
Don't
to the
do
dark
this.
side.
Don't do this to me.
Come to the dark
I
side.
need points. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. That's gonna be it for
Cheers.
this week, and we'll see you guys next time.
Will do.